is, and that's going to do that. And yeah, we should be good to go. And just for syncing purposes, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. That's all. We're going to leave it as is. That's all. We're good to go. As far as controlling things go, Carmen, you could reach that laptop if you want to control stuff from there, or this here mouse or this here keyboard. They all control the same kind of thing. Although that screen, the one next to Carmen, is separate from the one up there. Those are two different, distinct screens. So, but the big one, is shared. Yeah, we're here.
Here we are.
Yep.
Craftopia, y'all. I figure make it easier if it works for everybody else. When we are moving throughout the dungeon, we just move our tokens in order of the way we move through the dungeon, marching order. Right? Does that make sense? Because the person in front would typically be doing things first anyway. Sure. Right? Flint, Brian, you were in the front of the party, right?
Should be.
I tended to chill towards the back. You'll find the tower when it is around generally tends to look out for danger more than anything else, and tends to stay towards the back of the group, trying to make sure that there's no sneak attacks. What about the middle of the party? How do you guys want to travel through? In what order?
Arano is fine with either middle spot. Middle of the pack is fine.
Go second.
Okay, cool. So, what's happening last?
Because you're mostly ranged.
Making sure that. What happened last was you guys were exploring this dungeon that you got into.
Nice.
You are currently in this room that had the holes with the one skeleton still in place. That's where we stopped it.
Oh, right.
So I should move myself.
And if anybody wanted to do music, that's on the YouTubes, on the number 12 Criminal Place. You just play playlist there, like normal YouTube stuff.
So you had explored that room, killed a rat.
Yes,
Right.
I whipped it.
And that's where we stopped. You explored the bottom there a little bit. That's it.
I imagine it getting whipped to pieces, just like exploding on it. Please.
There's
Oh,
no
I
other
see.
doors.
I see that it's not showing up there. Thought it was. So you had seen this as well. That is another doorway.
But this room only has the one door we came in.
Would appear so.
All right. I guess we're going to the other door then.
Indeed. So that's you going down to the other door, is that right?
Leading the way, I guess.
I mean, there's a massive too. So after Flint is. Oh, you need to be turned on. Just like that.
Oops. I'm assuming you're going to.
You are face to face with a big, strange-looking door, much like the ones you've been going through earlier as well.
All right. So far, so good. Let's open up this one.
Touching the handle, touching the doorway, try and find the opening. It appears to not move.
In that case, is there any spot on there that seems like it would be a handle of sorts, some means by which to open up the door?
I would say it's pretty strange than like your typical normal door. So make an investigation to try and see if you can find the mechanisms of this. Unless you have another suggestion of how to assess that door. Any sort of expertises that Flint has that I'm not thinking about.
Intimidation.
Let's stick with the investigation.
Okay, investigation is going to be a 11.
It's fairly complicated, but it's not trying. It's an inanimate object, and it's not trying to obscure itself from you. The craftsmanship was not meant to be secretive. You find there seems to be some sort of mechanical aspect to it that's keeping this closed.
All right. I do not own a set of thieves' tools or anything, so getting through that is not going to be a thing that I'm personally capable of.
I could try to tinker it open.
Yeah, what do you make?
Looks like that no one has thieves' tools on cabin.
I have proficiency, but I don't.
No one
You know
has
how
thieves'
expensive
Buy me
these
because
tools
I'm
are?
not a damn thief.
Just checking. This could be very interesting. No magic. No. No
I just
tools.
don't have the tools.
Oh,
I have
yeah,
a
yeah,
professional.
We'll go with that. We'll go
I
with
have
the
a tip.
tools. Try to tinker your way out of it.
We're a new adventuring party.
Hey, I
that
know.
was-
I know.
You
I
know?
know. I know.
Could you pass me the black and goldish dice up there?
As an artificer, you don't have like the right tools for the job at all times. Or something like that.
Oh, you're right. No, sorry. I'm having a hard time pulling up my sheet.
Yeah, you can. It's right there on.
Oh, thank you.
Boom, just like that.
No, you're right. I do. That's a specific trait. Right tool for the job. Yeah, so the right tool with the artisan's tools in hand, because I don't actually own thieves' tools. I'm proficient with it.
You magically create one set.
Requires 1 hour of interactive. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. But I'll try to tinker it if I'm allowed.
Yeah. I fear if I don't let you tinker the door, we'll go nowhere. I mean, I guess you could spend an hour.
Yeah,
It's not-
it's been an
Yeah.
hour. Chill out for a little bit.
6 to do that.
Yes.
Camera.
Of course.
You feel like if you had the right tools, you'd get through this door, maybe.
Well, would those tools then last throughout the rest of this dungeon?
Well, I'm not too familiar with
I'm going back to read because I don't remember. It's just still pretty new to me.
Side for a long rest of the and they vanish when you use this feature again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they last till you decided to use that.
Well,
again.
Yeah, until you need another set of tools.
Right.
if we take an hour, I can have us some thieves' tools for the rest of this time.
It seems to be a gross oversight that needs to be fixed for our group. Yes.
I get to work.
I meditate.
All right. So I guess we'll just take a moment of silence for an hour and read.
I mean, yeah, there's no real rush on this dungeon, right? We don't know if anything's coming out of the door, but they'd have to, we think, go through us to get it to the front door at this point.
It's really just waiting for a short rest, keeping an eye on things.
Sans
Also, if you could not make me a thieves' tool set, if you could make it just like a locksmithing set, just a proper set of
Oh, who
locksmiths.
said I was making them for you?
Yeah, but if I hear the phrase thieves'
I'm
tools,
making
I
tools
hit
to
them all at
unlock
once.
these doors.
Actually, no, you did know this. The first door that you went through, the first room that you entered, did have two directions, two doorways. One was
Oh, there is no way.
kind of opened. You guys chose the other way through a closed door. So that's
I thought
that's
it
what
was collapsed.
Yeah,
right.
that's
It
a
is
collapse.
It's collapsed, but not uncrossable. If that wasn't clear last time,
It was not.
my mistake.
No, that
The
is
door
hard code for
Only was broken.
Yeah, no, that was hard code for you ain't getting through.
Unintentional then. The door was broken through. So
Which direction?
what do you mean?
Like, did it look like someone came from the opposite
It just
side
looks like
or old age?
yeah, it that would take a lot more specific examination to fully determine, but time is a hell of a thing. All right. So assuming that everything goes calmly, which it does, you are able to make those tools after your hour. If you guys needed a short rest for any reason, I got no qualms. Took an hour to rest.
We
I think you did
Already-
spend time, so you probably are full.
Yeah, I don't
did a
think
long
we-
rest.
We did, yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
We ended up
we took it.
sleeping outside of the
That's right.
dungeon. For some reason.
Well, it would be a travesty if I didn't at least remind you, just in case you were waiting on a short rest or something important.
Of course.
That being said,
All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and roll those thieves tools. 14.
I'll get through just fine. It unlocks and it gets to just slide away. That's right, you need me to do this. So you see the full picture now? Is there still a sliver on? Okay.
What do you see up there? Clint?
Good question. What do I see?
What you see is a small pool in the center of this room. The water seems filled with refuse of some kind. From this distance, it's hard to make out. That's about it.
What's
All
the
right.
smell like?
Stale.
All right. I'd like to make a perception just to see if there's anything else lurking. 19.
Scanning about the room, it's kind of this whole area is like dim light. But to the best of your ability, you look around. What you do find roaming in the back of this room is another rat. In the back of that.
All right. Just gonna pull out my bow, take a shot at it.
Go for it.
Yeah, wow.
13.
Yeah, they're going for it.
13 to hit.
That was
13 will hit.
Something.
Do 2 more than 2 points of damage.
Yes. Does it count as unaware for the sake of sneak?
Sure.
You want
It's incredibly different.
You have 1 rat skewer if you'd like it.
I suppose I'll wipe the ball down if I can retrieve it.
Taking the rat off of this bolt, you will notice it too has its head exposed, or it's
all right.
top portion.
it's Branium.
All right, if that's what this room is. There, you can see. I believe. No, you can't. It's a door. Excuse me. There's a door to the south.
All right, let's examine that
How do you examine it?
with my eyes and also my hands.
Okay. As you touch the door, you take 8 damage as a pulse of energy enters you and exits you.
Yeah.
Yikes.
All right, word of caution. Things are starting to get weird in here. Okay, starting, but
It appears this door was trapped.
apparently.
Does anybody have any way of detecting traps of some kind?
On a technical level. I have some experience with the subject.
Technically,
Not
you did
counting,
check
not counting the experience I just had.
it.
Are you at the door, Sheriff? It doesn't look like you are.
Yeah, well, we weren't in the room before neither, so.
Can I take a closer look at this pool of water?
Sure,
before we walk
sure,
out
sure.
Of here? Like, it's just like what?
There isn't
well?
actually much water in it at this point, but you can tell that it once contained water. What's left is like old remnants of matter. It's probably about as deep as from this table to the floor here, so like 1.5 to 2 feet deep, and probably a good 10 feet in diameter, I guess. No, this whole zone is so like it's with it. This is like a 5-foot circle. It would fit in one of those squares, so it's about 5-foot diameter, I guess.
All right.
Harmless enough, I suppose.
Is there any evidence that the trap is still active?
It looks as the same as it did when you touched it before.
And it's just some sort of energy pulse passing through it?
Mm-hmm. How much experience does Flint have with the big world? With the world at large?
The world at large? My family hails a big city. I spent some time there doing some stuff that I might not be proud of.
So it's not unakin to some of the what's the term that I'm looking for here? The luxuries that people in the city also, although this seems, with the invention of the lightning rail and such, there's a new tier of technology that is pushing westward, right? And this kind of energy that has entered you is not unakin to that.
So something like lightning damage.
Something like it. It's definitely arcane in nature. You would know.
Oh, no.
All right, I'd like to make an attempt to disarm it. Do we need are we going to need the quote thieves tools for that too?
I feel like you need to determine if it was mechanical, for a mechanical trap versus an actual magical trap, right?
Could I throw a perception at this to see the nature of the mechanism of this trap?
May I also?
Sure.
All right, nerds, get on it.
11.
10.
Was that low or something? So
10. Sorry, I
Yeah,
said
look.
it.
You do see the mechanicalness of this door. It is much like the other doors. There would be a normal locking mechanism. What you can glean from this is that there does seem to be some kind of device, possibly enchanted, that has discharged this energy at Flint. And currently it seems to be inert, but you can't tell if it's temporarily inert or if it will, or if it's permanently.
But this is currently.
Correct. There's like this little collection of crystal that seems to be the focal point of what did this. While I was saying to Flint that this is very akin to what's in the city, it's also a lot more rudimentary in ways of like, a light switch versus a potato with wires. So that helps clarify.
So this seems vaguely triggering.
To the sophisticated eye, yes. To the advanced eye.
I'm thinking there might be a way to pull this out.
But it also looks old. So, this looks, I don't know, that's not a good example. A lighter would be like insane to a caveman, right?
Fair
Sure.
enough.
Sure.
But if we found a caveman with a lighter, that'd blow our.
Yeah.
Fire.
Anyways,
Any way you might be able to extract this?
I think Aranoa would have the best shot at that, right?
Mm-hmm. Probably. And I would definitely want to try.
okay, I'll call that a tinker check. You're definitely tinkering with the device.
I'd like to
Dang.
help with my eyeballs, and yes, I have.
I don't
Yeah,
remember which one it is.
something.
It has the dog.
Where the dot is the bottom. So that's a
Okay.
6,
Well, okay.
right? Because the other one has it at the top.
Yeah. I
Thank
just,
you. Help.
Yeah,
I'm correct on that, right?
Yeah.
With dice, when they have the 6 and the 9, the dot goes on the bottom, right?
yeah, the dots on the.
okay.
Yeah,
I just didn't remember.
yes.
So if I've helped, then I'm gonna try again.
Is that the exact same roll?
No, it's a
It's the
5
reverse. Oh, it looked like a 9 or 6 from here, and I was just thinking like that's pretty incredible.
So 10. Rolling like shit.
Odds or evens?
Evens.
You, in the midst of your attempts, this mechanism gets sundered, but you do not take damage from the malfunction. But unfortunately, you cannot retrieve it.
Well, there may be more. And now we know what to look for.
At least they ain't gonna hit me again. Gonna check to see if the door is properly locked.
With the sundering and the damage done, it's able to be opened.
Alrighty.
Good job.
I'm looking at. That was this door.
Thanks for your help.
Happy to assist.
Just looking for one thing. I know this means something.
Oh, and let us know when you guys get coffee. Start cooking that pizza.
We could start with cake.
We can start with Kale.
Yeah.
We are adults. We have that choice.
Yes.
It still feels weird.
Yeah. I like ending my meal with dessert. I like ending on the sweet.
And it's strange because after we eat like a meal and then have some kind of dessert, I often will later have a salty snack too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely end on sweet for the typically.
My personal health over time. The moment I discovered I can make bacon anytime I want.
Hey, you can make bacon salty or sweet, like candy
Oh,
bacon or chocolate covered bacon.
No,
Oh,
no good.
I need to figure that right now. I need a lot of chocolate.
I have 2 letters on this dungeon that I wrote down here. I did not write down on this dungeon paper. Did it for every room, not those little things. So I guess that's just up to my discretion now. Let's see where it leads. Will inform my choice, which would be that.
I love that you just bought a cake without even like mentioning it. That's on the list.
As you enter and look down this hallway, you can hear a scraping sound echoing through this corridor, we'll call it. And this is basically what you can see before the corridor ends. There definitely seems to be a wall going in this direction, and then this ends at a wall, but there seems to be a space here. It's along here, out into the dark corridor that you hear like a scraping in the distance.
Yeah, that ain't coming.
Shall we enter into quote unquote stealth mode?
It's a good idea.
Try.
maximum effort. Probably yes.
15 total.
Whopping 5.
20.
15.
What was yours?
5.
Makes sense. As usual, you feel like collectively you're pretty stealthy. But the choice is yours of where you go from here.
We are scratching from both.
I can only show you the door. You have to open it.
All right. Well, we're going to pass by that first corner anyway. So let's see what's down there.
Sure. Moving that way and taking a peek around. This comes into view. You see an immediate end of this corridor, but it seems like it continues from our eye, a more northward direction.
All right, shits and grins. Let's just go past.
Okay. Hopefully there's not a terrace for your sake. All right.
Well,
Would that be a hell of a dungeon, a wandering terrace?
Pieces in depth, it better damn well be a terrace.
Similar, but it seems to go end a little bit longer and go southward. Not 100% sure on the cardinal directions of this dungeon according to where it lies in the town of Mayfield, but for the purposes of navigating this dungeon on Roll 20, we're going to use cardinal directions north, south, east, west for what is represented.
I really
It
appreciate
would be
that.
weird if we did.
Exactly.
Relative.
Yes. Well, in this case, you see that it goes relative south.
Indeed. All right.
Still hearing that scraping.
Can we tell which it's coming from?
Yeah, it seems to be coming from the first hallway that you encounter. So it's the more north.
Oh, well, in that case, screw that. We keep going down this way.
But it's not like immediately. It's still off in the distance somewhere.
We'll circle back on that.
Yeah. Continuing on. Continuing on.
I'm good with you doing that. Everybody else? Good
Yeah.
with it?
Hold on, sorry. Things are moving on me.
Yeah, we can speak up if we're like, nah.
Yeah.
I'll go this way.
Very true. Yes.
Also, perception checks, just in case.
Sure.
I'd like to drop one of them bitches too, boy.
So you're
Just-
looking around this corner.
Probably all on alert, right?
Perception 20.
20.
26.
Yeah. Not bad.
You don't see any immediate threat of danger. These corridors seem to be pretty empty, but I guess with that high perception, you start to notice minute details. That glowing light that I'm talking about, that's kind of like that these are sort of representing here. You can see an energy pulse as if it's still cooking after all this time.
Mm. All right, we got a doorway up here.
So lucky that everyone took stone shape.
Hey,
Happens
screw this
involved.
boss.
What's the door look like?
The same.
Does it have one of
As
the
usual.
mechanisms?
This is room number. Thank you. Okay. We do just a quick rundown. This would be the.
Thank you. It's an interesting room.
Blue.
What happened?
Did he lick you?
Yes.
Sorry. Louis, tongue to yourself.
People don't like.
No. That's better.
You have
Over
to
here.
get consent.
It's true. People don't prefer When the very
Okay.
For many
Learned
reasons.
that the hard way.
Wait. Oh, that's why this is the wrong. I'm looking at the wrong room. That makes so much sense. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah. It, you don't see any discernible signs of anything weird. You try the door.
Yeah.
It seems to be unlocked. It doesn't seem to move on its own. It does take a little bit of humanoid power, they power, and you're able to slide it open. You're laughing at my they power.
Yeah. It's a new phrase for me.
Me as well, but it makes sense.
Oh yeah.
What you come face to face with is a somewhat smaller, well, actually, same size as the last room you came from. There seems to be a small tube-like hole in the middle of the floor. Tools line the wall, and there seems to be a furnace-like structure in that top right corner as well.
Kind of tools.
Want to go look at the tools?
Yeah, I'm just looking.
They seem to be what you would consider to be why can't I think? Like there's a lot of cutting tools. It's hard to discern because they don't look like tools that you use yourselves in everyday life. But if you had to guess, some have like scissor-like properties. Some have blade properties. It looks like tools you would use for possibly like haircuts, maybe shaving, things of that nature.
Would Aranoa have knowledge of what these tools are based on their proficiency with leatherworking, smithing,
Give it a try.
carpentry, tinkering, thieves, tools? What would that be?
I would say it would be probably like based on what you're telling me, like a tinker check, I guess, but like intelligence.
Yeah. 10.
There are tools here that look pretty similar to like that kind of working, but it doesn't seem to be the kind used for creation. It seems like the kind used for removal or sunburn or
So would they look kind of like the tools she uses for processing animals?
maybe.
Okay.
Those are on the wall. What was in the
So
center?
I will say that this room doesn't look large enough for that kind of, like, in your mind, processing animals like that.
What was in the center again? The center?
A tube like drain.
Oh, a drain. Oh.
Well,
I guess I should say above that drain there is like not protruding from, but in line with the ceiling, some kind of like ventilated, perforated grate above as well.
All right. Well, we got two doors in here. Which way are we looking at?
This here, this one, that is actually, no, this one right here,
Mm-hmm.
that is a portcullis. It's hard to kind of tell on the screen, I suppose, but it's barred.
I'd like to wander my way over to in front of the portcullis and take a look down.
You can look through.
Yeah, take a look. Throw a perception check behind that at 25.
What you see, a pretty dim room. From that vantage point, that's probably what I'll give you.
We've been trying to light things as we've been going through. Should somebody light that furnace, or which said was a furnace in the corner?
Yeah. I mean, to the best of your knowledge, it looks like something that there is like old residue inside there, an old ash dust, hard to tell. It does look like stuff was burnt in there.
Should I throw a firebolt at it?
If you don't want to try.
Why not?
There doesn't seem to be any accelerant inside that device. You watch it and it kind of flares up the interior, which does seem to have some kind of ventilation in the top now that you can see with the light inside. But when the fireball goes out, so does everything else. There doesn't seem to be anything in there currently.
No fuel.
No fuel.
Well, is there any wood around the room or anything of that sort?
Not really. A lot of, except for the disrepair that you're encountering in this place, a lot of it is like, it's surprisingly, like, I don't want to say clean, but like without much
Rubble.
debris, without rubble. It's pretty surgical in nature. For sure.
Okay. I don't know how much benefit we're gonna get from lighting this right now anyway.
All right. Northwest door. How's that look?
That would be what I would call west. So that, in fact, looks like a door. It is shut.
All right. Open it.
You just gonna open it?
Open it. I have not learned my lesson. Open it.
Second verse, same as the first, except it hurts more. You take 10 damage as another feeling of energy courses through you.
Sheriff, we
Well,
gotta check these doors.
How much was that?
10.
Can I go and try to take the trap out of this one?
Sure.
Is there any kind of ladder for the part?
Are you helping me again?
Yeah, I'll help you.
We'll get to that.
21.
21. What are you trying to recover? Like
The actual
let's see, let me
mechanism
try to-
set off, like the crystal bit in the middle. If that
Okay, sure.
gets
The
present
crystal.
again.
You want like the crystal?
Because that seems like that's the energy source, right?
To the best of your ability to try and backwards this thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it seems to be the focal power piece of this. So yeah, we'll call it one crystal.
One discharged crystal.
Yes. It does not have a name currently, though.
Yeah.
Probably
So-
just that.
Identify.
Yes.
Oh, not into the group stuff. I guess that makes sense. But I'm gonna do that up here, so don't mind mine.
The portcullis. Yeah. Go ahead and you don't have to. It's on the. There is a lever on the other side of this portcullis. It's probably a good 1.5 feet from the grate itself. It's out of arm's length, but it's right there. You can see it through the doorway, through the portcullis. This seems to be controlled from within this other room.
We have a means by which to lasso it.
I feel like we have an expert lassoer.
Oh, I guess we could maybe stick here. I'm just trying to imagine how that process would work. Through a grate.
Thread the needle.
I mean, I'll try.
Risk.
I said it's easy. I was asking.
There actually specifically are notes about doing that.
What was it that was on the other side of the door?
Oh, ropes. There is. I just want to make sure I understand what you need to do to be able to rope that. So it feels like to me like you just need to do the attack, and if you hit it, I mean it's an object. I don't think you really need to be able to restrain it. Right? I think it's automatically restrained. It is a
And just a normal going through a portcullis has no effect.
I mean, it's not like tiny little things. Like, I mean, it's bars that you can't quite get through, but I think you can. I think you can do it. I'm not gonna have you do it at disadvantage at this time. There might be situations in the future that are more difficult, but it's just your normal rope attack, and we'll see what happens.
Also, I'm totally ready for food anytime. Food.
Thanks, baby.
Where am I? Why am I not remembering? It's just ranged attacks, so I just add dexterity and proficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Did you bring it? Because we have the.
Yeah, I did.
If you'd like to set it up, I can grab it for you.
It's fine. Not great. 4, 8.
Can't quite grab the lever of this, but in lieu of rolling 1,000 times, assuming you take, what is it, 10 times the time it would take you to do it, so about 10 minutes trying to do this, I'd say eventually during those attempts you do end up hooking this lever and can pull it open and allow you to enter this room, which would then reveal this area.
Yes, all done.
Okay. You enter this room. Hundreds of jars line shelves from ceiling to floor.
I feel like I'm not going to lack some certain answers approaching. But, what's in the jars?
Make an investigation. Try it. You can help.
I heard of help. It did not help. 9.
What you see seems to be, to your eye at the very least, too far gone to really discern shape, but they all seem to be similar. It seems to be a mass of deteriorated matter. Just indiscriminate blob in this dirty, refusey liquid that you imagine would probably smell and taste horrible.
What's in the northwest corner?
A large tapestry.
Uh,
You want to go look at it? Sure. Looking at this tapestry, you see this triangular shape on the bottom. You see a larger figure standing on it, arms raised up to the sky, and below the triangular shape, a bunch of little shapes underneath.
Is this something in our religion? Or
Make a religion check.
I asked the sheriff.
This whole place gives me the vibes of a burial crypt anyway. 19.
19.
Assuming, hold on, do I also have help on this?
Yes.
Pardon 21.
It looks very religious in nature.
Oh.
Just it's not really discernible, like specifically, if this is a particular god or what. But what you can tell is this is a godlike figure, at least in some respects. It looks very old, as everything does here, and it seems to be. How do I explain that the way I want to? But it's very akin in our own world to like a hieroglyphic of like someone important and making them a godlike figure, whether they are a god or they're just an important person.
All right. You mentioned that there were triangular bits nearby, like underneath them.
There's one large triangular piece. With that roll, you can kind of infer that this person is important. The triangular piece underneath is a structure, much like the one you're traversing right now. The smaller things underneath, like thinking about the ways that things are often depicted in religious imagery, it seems to be like these are the people that either worship or are subjugated by this entity that is depicted here.
I think we got us an architect here.
I want to kind of pull back the tapestry a bit and see what's behind it.
Just that. It seems to be a blank wall. Assuming that was just a cursory glance.
I'd like to check the jars and see if there's anything there that is in a better shape than anything else.
Okay. I'll let you make another attempt. I think
I'm helping again.
that's what that boils down to.
Nat 20 bringing us to 22.
Kind of handling these jars and kind of looking around them, you're getting that same thing, and then one that you grab, horror strikes you as you realize what you thought was just globular matter is exactly that. Some might call it a cluster of nerves. It is a humanoid brain encased in this jar, and as you realize that and look at the other one in your hand and look at the rest of the shelves, you realize that this room is lined ceiling to floor with jars of remains, specifically brains.
But they are the size of what would come from humanoid creatures, not rats.
Not rats. There are various sizes. Mostly appear to be of what you would assume would come from a humanoid creature. Some are larger, some are smaller. There are hundreds in this room.
Well, folks, I was partially right. There's definitely some involvement going on, but these ain't one person. They ain't even a dozen. This is all different people, and it's all brains.
It seems like there's some kind of experimentation with brains, with the rats and everything as well. There seems to be a theme happening.
Brain rats, brain jars. Oh, Cyrus, protect us.
And so far, no treasure.
I looked for it.
Well, I would beg to differ, but
We looked all around the rooms we've been in.
Yeah, that's right.
Rob, protect us.
This does, however, seem to be a dead end. Either way, we might be able to sell off some brains to what might charitably be called some weirdos. However, there doesn't seem to be a door out of here. As of blank wall behind that tapestry, huh?
Just
Hold on.
glancing at it, yes.
I reckon we got a bit of a logistics issue, though.
How's
How does
that?
one get in here without without doing the lasso trick.
Well,
Good question.
yeah. There wasn't some kind of key or whatever doorway for the opening of this portcullis. There might be some magic behind it.
Yeah, less than the people who were here were mages or had really long arms.
I want to take a better look behind the taps.
Okay. You can make an intelligence check, or an investigation, or a perception, depending on how you want to go about it.
I would like to help.
Okay.
$21.
21. As you start feeling around, you realize what you didn't see with cursory glance is a piece of stone of the stonework that is just ever so slightly raised out. And as you cross your palm over it and press, the door begins to move away.
Hold on, we got something here.
Yeah, there we go.
Holy shit!
And beyond, you can see this space.
Is that a wall on the other side of the one square? Or is
No.
that the beginnings of a room?
Darker than the rest of this place.
Well, I'm all headed up again. What do I see with my dwarven eyes?
You have dark vision?
As a dwarf, I hope so.
I guess I forgot to ask that, but I think only you two?
I do not have dark
I know. And
I
think
don't.
those are two. So it's just the two of you that would have dark vision. So the two of you can see that there seem to be two metallic-looking tables in the center of this room, and they don't look like empty tables. Looks like there is something on the tables.
Somebody is carrying it.
But in the black and white, are you?
I had a lantern, but I put it out after we lit the first area, but I can always pull it back out.
And it hasn't been an issue in this dungeon so far. Everything's been like a little gloomy-esque, but
And nothing.
if I had to describe it, and I hate to do it, but if you think of like the Borg ships,
There's enough.
that's the lighting. You know?
Yes. Yeah. I get you.
Like, that's coming from all those
Yeah.
pieces.
Mhm.
They're actual
And
light
various-
emitting, not just those strains or whatever actually emitting light.
That, plus there's indiscriminate light source somewhere else that you may or may not see, but it is definitely emitting that low level light where there are a number of shadows, but for the most part you can see what's around you. But this room is significantly darker, and that's what you see in the black and white of dark vision. Two tables there, and they don't seem empty.
All right, I'm braced to find some really old, brainless bodies in here. So let's check the tables and confirm that theory.
Okay.
But maybe not get too close to it. There might be a brain rat inside.
I should also, I didn't read this before I gave you that description, so I should also tell you this now before you make it through the door. That's the first thing you see is those two tables. You also see the outlines of 4 entities bipedal that seem to be just indiscriminately wandering the zone of this room.
Oh, well, in that case, anything that can be identified about the figures?
They look incredibly thin.
I would like to take an action
And
to
they
detect.
seem to be carrying something, each of them.
All right, I would like to do my paladin detection first. That's going to be 60 feet, shouldn't be a problem. Undead, fiends, and celestials.
A bell rings in your brain.
Fucking ding. I assume that's undead.
Correct. It would be undead. You would know that.
And for shits and grins, also consecrated, desiccated.
Doesn't appear to be.
Got hams.
I'll take down some Zans.
Shall we fuck them up?
Yeah, I'm going to level my crossbow in that direction.
I'm just moving these things as they should. Okay. But they are not quite paying your heed. Getting a better view of this room now, they do not appear to be zombies. They appear to be walking bone.
How would a
Similar.
bite attack work on us?
Ask a dog.
Get that marrow.
So you guys technically have the upper hand right now. They have not been alerted to your presence quite yet.
All right, time to open up a can of Osiris. Yeah, might as well grab the rapier. Actually, gonna move in and. Do we need initiative right now?
I'm ready to run it.
Is it dark? Sorry, I know that there was talk about it, but I was doing pizza.
Yes, it is less than dim.
Okay, I'm gonna before people start running it, I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on
The space.
that space. That way everyone gets advantage on any attacks against.
Okay, we've entered that
As
part
long
of
as
the house.
sorry, if they fail a death saving.
We have entered that part of the haunted house where it's the black light room.
Yep, they're glowing with blue light.
Fun.
What we do
I guess it is initiative time, huh?
It feels kind of initiative-y.
it does. Let me see what they got.
Save is 12.
What was the death save?
Yes.
Shit. Okay, they make it.
Oh no. Okay. That's too bad.
Oh, should we all roll one?
You don't have to.
I think I will. I'm rolling like shit at the table.
Well, if you want to add me to the order, I'm on 17.
You can click your token on people.
Well, that's it.
17.
What's your
Point 14 if you're looking.
thank you. Yeah, we're gonna keep that in both games.
A lot of like 14.
It just makes sense. Why didn't it add him?
He's there. There's no number.
I know, I gave him a number.
Did you enter afterwards?
0.14. Now it's working, right?
Mm.
All right, and Straw's gonna do that, right?
Mhm.
And that was what now?
11.
11.14. I almost removed all terms, and that would have been terrible. Okay. So, Flint, it looks like you have first go.
All right, I'm gonna run up. Yeah, here. Hold on, what is Yeah, run up here. Gonna shove a mighty sword through it. It's gonna be.
We're only fighting in circles, right? What are the things? The squares? The rectangles?
Hmm?
We're only fighting in circles, right? What are the rectangles?
Oh, those are the tables.
tables.
They are also covered in skeleton if you give a passing glance as you get close enough to actually
those
discern
aren't moving.
detail. They are not.
All right, so 21 to hit.
Current. 21 will hit.
All right, for a total of 9 damage. And I imagine I'm not. They haven't acted yet. Are we technically at sneak for unawares?
I think the jig's up when fairy fire blasts the room.
Fair enough. All right, and 9 damage. Is it still standing?
Yes.
Do I want to do that? I'm going to resist the urge to do the thing. Now that's a damn lie. Smite. Okay, put another 6 radiant on it.
And with some divine flare, it shall crumble to bone.
Back to the duat with you.
I'm going to do this. I don't remember which one I used for the character sheet, so or the turn order. So, that being said, next in initiative is actually them. What was theirs? Theirs is okay. Wow. Who would have thunk? Just quickly. Oh, it already fixed it for me. Excellent. Excellent. That's right. So, Flint is the only person in this room, right?
That I am.
If that's the case, good. Before we get there, 1, 2, 3, easy. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Looks like they're coming at you hard. Let's see what happens, shall we? One Mississippi. That's a 22 to hit.
Yep.
That is 8 piercing damage as this skeleton holding some piece of jagged metal, possibly an old tool from this room, slices right into your shoulder. The other 2 rushing up. 2 Mississippi is a 15. Duck out of the way of that. Almost catches your hat. Thank goodness it didn't. 7.
Hell.
Yeah. So just 1 hit out of the 3 that have now rushed you.
My goodness.
Anything they were wearing, you can see cloth has practically fused to these bones from being so old. That will do it for them.
Tower goes ahead and goes, excuse me, pardon me.
Do you let him pass unencumbered? Then it's unencumbered. It's an option, I guess.
I thought Tower's pronouns were it.
That's why I changed to.
He.
I said them, but sorry.
I think them works for just about any person, right? Nobody is really going to be worried about being called a name, right? I don't know.
But you
As an
specified it.
object,
That's
are
why
you
I'm-
offended?
Right, exactly. That's fair. As an object. That being said, as an object, Tower is going to use their spiritual.
So if you can't get it straight, then it's fair game.
Whatever. Its spiritual essence and summon that bottom girl, needing a dexterity save out of these moves.
All 3?
All 3 of these people, but not the sheriff. 14 is the number that we're looking for.
1, 2, 3. We're gonna go clockwise because that's how that makes sense. First one is a 13. Second one is a 15. Third one is a 14. So it looks like the first one fails.
And it's 4 damage. Force damage. That's happening.
Four damage.
Yep.
Okay, noted.
The action that it is going to do this turn is going to be a two-handed quarterstaff directed towards this zombie in the corner.
10 will not do it, sadly.
And that tower will down. One more space over. And that will be Tower's turn.
All right. Shroud. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Upward.
And considering instead of saying roll initiative in the future, I say draw.
Well,
Reach for the sky.
I'm gonna whip the one closest to me. Wait, let me see what the range is, just to be sure.
Is there a different term for?
Oh,
I know it's like a duel, but isn't there a different term for like the high noon road quick draw? Is there a different term for it? Or is it just a duel? Something
High
so-
noon.
Yeah.
I'm not coming up with anything specific.
Dual.
Face off, stand off.
Standoff? Maybe standoff is what I'm thinking, but no.
half the range.
I feel like there's a word that I'm not thinking about that is inherently Western
Sure.
quick draw in the street. I'm gonna challenge you to at high noon, and I don't think it's duel, but maybe it is. But
Yeah.
there's just that there's something I'm like, wait, isn't there the?
Doesn't have a range on there. I don't.
A whip's a 10-foot.
Okay.
Standoff feels like. I feel
Right?
like standoff is the
Really
one.
tell where
Yes,
this
where
is.
you are, that zombie, you should be good.
Okay. Then well, but it
Not
might not matter. 8 the attack.
Oh, yeah, you're yeah.
Two angry people with guns shooting each
This
other.
is actually 1, 2. You're good. Sorry. What's the
8
answer?
was the attack.
Will not hit, unfortunately. It gets deflected by some weird tool in its hand. Does that conclude your turn?
Mhm.
I know that grid is kind of hard to see, partly by design, but also the way that it's transposing some of the colors, I think. That is the end of Straw's turn. It looks like Aranola's turn.
I had forgotten to take out my Steel Defender token. Can I use that, or is this?
Oh, we don't have access. Can you give the tower player access to the Steel Defender token? My bad.
Controlled by. Should work. Yeah. You haven't been without it this whole game, so I wouldn't see. It would be strange if it wasn't here.
You think we need to refresh?
Maybe.
What is into
Like,
the
that's
list?
as far as recording.
Shouldn't. Let's hope not. Try. We good. We good. It's recorded still.
Not there?
No.
Really?
Huh.
Do you have it as visible to players?
Maybe.
Visible to everyone.
Player,
Oh,
and control.
Everybody's journals now?
No.
Okay,
There we go.
there.
Oh, got it.
All right, so I'll go ahead and open up player sheets again as well.
You just can focus on yours for now. We can get to the other ones.
Yeah.
Fine.
Am I on your way?
No, I'm just trying to get back to where we were. So,
There's a bar on the top right.
Right, thank you.
It's right.
Okay. So. Anytime. Okay. Just really struggling.
What's being struggled?
Just seeing and using this mouse and everything.
There it goes.
Oh, just the
Yes, literally just this mouse is
We've got a
different from
Yeah,
we've
it's
got a mouse if you
That's
want.
true. I'm fine now. I think now that I was able to drag out still. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just attack this.
The one right in front of you?
Yeah, except
Got it.
I would have Steel Defender's reply first, so I'm gonna switch them. Okay. So I'll let them go first. And they're going to do the Force Rend. Force Empowered Rend. Six to hit.
Unfortunately not.
And
These things don't look too beefy, but while you're used to, and it's used to, tearing into flesh, there's no flesh to be had here. You're finding that collectively as a group, you're having to readjust to this new, smaller target.
Which is fine.
And then from where I'm at, from that spot, I'll go ahead and attack that one as well with my returning spear,
Sure.
which I'm doing. Oh, wow. 11 to hit.
Well, it is returning.
Came right back.
That's the good news.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
again,
that's that.
hitting bone is hard. Flint, it's back to you.
All right. Figuring the odds, I'm going to spend my action laying on hands myself
Okay.
for the full 10. Don't believe I have a proper bonus action to use, so that'll do.
Okay. Looks like it's the Bone Daddy's turn. They have some new options.
Did you say Bone Daddy?
These is plural. Bone Daddies.
With an I.
Don't disrespect their pronouns.
So
Is daddy's a pronoun?
They can be. They want to be called daddies. They're daddies.
Can it please just be both parents?
No, they've gendered themselves, okay?
That's what it is.
I think based on this layout and the promotion, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, what they can see. Lashing out at tower.
You guys just pick all the almost on the
Yeah.
That's a 15 to hit, which I believe misses. I think you're.
Does.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
One's coming back at front. They're still locked and engaged. That's an 18 to hit.
That meets it.
That is a 4 piercing damage as a janky blade enters your socket.
That would have been exact.
Wow.
Wowie wowie. So remember that 4. And
How can I forget?
against the machine that tried to hurt it, the third one is a 15 to hit. I have no idea what the AC of your Steel Defender is.
Oh, that would be 15.
What did I say? It just rolled? Or
15?
No, it
Oh.
hits it because it rolled 15.
Oh, my.
And it does 4 damage to that steel defender.
It kills it, it looks like.
It's only a
No,
4
it
health?
has 20 hit points.
Oh, shit.
Okay, that's probably the accurate.
Yeah, it's based on my intelligence.
This game,
2 different
for whatever
scores.
reason, it wants the health as the green bar,
That's
which
very
really enrages me. That's why I wasn't changing it for our tokens and stuff. But just know that.
There you go.
There is garlic bread ready.
Okay,
for one.
Yeah.
that would be the skeleton's turn. All 3.
Oh, you skeleton.
Skeletons.
Tower is going to bash this thing of bricks, not bricks, thing of bone in front of it with a two-handed quarterstaff. It doing 11 damage.
20 to hit, that will hit. And then also just double check.
Logistical question.
Yep.
An animated skeleton, does it technically count as a skeleton?
Skeleton.
Oh. And it is a bludgeoning weapon, right?
It is a bludgeoning weapon indeed.
You watch it turn into tiny pieces.
And as a bonus
Actually,
action,
not quite. Well, yes, it does. I'm sorry.
and as a bonus action follow-up, with that bottom girl from across the room, we are going to do a force dealing punch at 23, doing 6 damage to the one directly across the room right here.
Got him. That will hit as well.
And then that will be all for him.
Okay. You feel it hit extra hard.
The force damage, perhaps.
Hmm?
This I tried. It's actually force damage. It's not blood.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, cool. Interesting. No. Yeah, fat bottom girl does force damage. What that? I need to just make it an app called fat bottom girl.
Or like rocking
What
world.
in the world
Kind of
happened?
rock. Fat bottom girl. Rocking world.
So that's 6 damage from the force damage of that bomb. Got it. Okay. We are good to go. That concludes Tower's turn.
Indeed.
Draw.
Trying to whip the same 20.
That will hit.
Let me check.
What kind of damage does a whip deal?
Slashing 7.
Uh-oh. I don't want to mess with that. I feel like the roll 20 monster stat is missing information
Huh.
about
That's
that stuff because I really feel like I remember specifically a certain aspect of them that is not listed there. I just want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Isn't there a whole thing of like when they get reduced to 0, if it's not a certain damage type, they come back with 1? Or is that- okay, okay. All right, we're good.
Yeah, undead mechanics are not universal.
Yeah. I was thinking it was skeleton. So sorry, what was the damage that you just did to it? 7.
Slash.
And it's this one here.
Yes.
You whip that one into pieces. Does that conclude your turn?
Yes.
There, no.
Okay. I am going to have my steel tender
Attack first again. 13 to hit.
13 will hit.
Oh. And that will be 7 damage.
7.
Oh,
Two.
sorry, I meant to move.
I understand. 7.
Yes.
You also watch as you spear this one to pieces. The room appears to be clear.
It bites.
Right. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
That was
it's
it.
still
I thought
fine.
that was it.
I
You
go
all right
over
there, Sheriff?
Living. Barely.
Do we need to take a break?
I think
reckon I would not mind.
Oh,
So
that-
that being the case with combat seemingly over, for what you can tell, the corpses on the tables do not appear to be moving, at least for the time being. But what you do see in this room, other than the objects I described before, is the two entryways opposite of the way you came in. The top is another portcullis, and the one below appears to be another doorway.
shall we thoroughly search this room for anything of value?
Yes.
I'd like to do a perception check. See if I see anything of value.
I'll help.
Okay.
I'd like to make my own perception check.
Sure.
6.
It was 26.
You go through this room pretty like a fine-tooth comb. Really, all you're finding is jank blades and bones. And incredibly finely worked, smooth metal surface that these bones are on. You can the refuse, the dust collection that has happened here. You just are able to literally take your hand and wipe it away, and the space beneath appears to be clean as it always has.
Whatever it is, it don't tarnish. Some fine craftsmanship.
Perhaps that could be worth a buck.
I just wish we could find it under better circumstances.
Shall we try the door here?
Was not revealed for you? Not really.
Is that a port?
What's behind that protocol? Oh yeah.
Is that better?
Is that what you believe about that?
Do you see it?
Mhm.
Cool.
Were you needing to rest, Sheriff, or push on?
Yeah, I think I'd like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to blow a spell slot on the cure wounds here.
Mhm.
All I need, short rest. Oh no. Various things.
While you rest, let me just double check some other things. Right. Of course. Okay. Short rest happened.
I believe so.
2 hours and change have gone by down here in this dungeon.
Is there a lever for this port?
There is. It is. You can see through this, so I should probably reveal that area as well. You can see the wall behind. There does seem to be some sort of same lever-like situation on that opposing wall.
Do we want me to try and raise this again, or try the door?
I think the protocol is a good idea.
And 18.
I assume I can take my time again, get it right?
Probably just like during the short rest, right?
Yeah, because I
That's
don't need
probably
to rest, so.
Sure. So you can get through it, giving that amount of time. So the portcullis way is unlocked for you. No longer do that.
I'd like to take my head and stick it over here and take a little perception around.
I like that you covered what I revealed like before I. You know what I mean, I uncovered it while you were doing that
Sure.
by chance.
Cowboy pizza is ready.
Yeah!
Huzzah!
Did you pick that just because the name?
It's also my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we would get normally anyway, but that's
Dog,
not.
why are you in the way?
Come on.
Last night we were considering like recommending barbecue or something, right? And, like it just seems like we're just trying to keep a theme with our meals.
That was only because the show we were watching got ribs and like, oh, we should say Dickies. That's
Yeah.
funny. I was like, that fits the theme.
It's just fun how it works.
Could make ribs again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we?
Oh, is that a corner then leading to that door?
Tower has realized that this just circles back to the same room.
Good job, Tyler.
Only with Trust help getting it open. Good job, Trump.
Thank you.
And this hallway does end, continue on.
End and continue.
Whoa.
Well, you can see me with my hands make the motion so you understand my
I
words.
just
Love watching people make those motions. Ooh, I should set a timer on my phone. About to reach 2 hours. So this goodness. I'm gonna do that thing. But yeah, short rest. Shall we continue on up through this hallway here?
sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriff, get your ass up there then, I guess.
You're still gonna take
Yes,
all the damage for us.
Oh, I guess I can take it.
Sure.
Wait, did you heal up all the way?
Yeah, I'm up full HP
Okay,
currently.
okay. I just thought that was
If
funny.
you
The
want to take
person
point,
like,
I won't tell you no.
I'm not feeling so good. All right, Sheriff, you rested. Now get your ass back to the You're here to protect us.
Okay.
You ain't wrong, but do you mind?
That's the next bit that you can see.
Can I have that now?
I just
Are you stealthing again? Or tranching in this corridor?
We did not
Well, I
say
mean, by default, I tranche, but we should probably try and keep it quiet.
yeah.
9.
10.
What was that tower?
working on it.
Oh.
10 as well.
Yeah, sounds like tranching.
Oh, there it is. 9 stealth.
It is time to go loud and or dumb.
Well, that being the case,
The door.
I just need to wait for something to load so I can check it. No, it's not your fault. It's the nature of
Not trying to be basic.
no. Just oh boy. Okay. Right. So you've gotten to this door. And by the looks of it, it appears to be locked. From what you've now inferred about how these doors work and how the mechanisms work, you can tell right away this door is locked.
We should check it for the usual trap.
There doesn't seem to be any signs of that either.
All right, if that's the case, I think you're up.
That's a 10.
This one seems a lot more complicated than the ones you've encountered in the past, and it's not. The tumblers aren't clicking for some reason.
You want to give it a shot, Sheriff?
I'll do what I can. All right, proficiency tags, that should be a +4. $14.
I love how once we had
It's
that,
very complicated.
once we had that lesson, was it from the dragon campaign and like aiding and stuff? Like now we use it all the time. Whereas
Almost
I feel like
never a
we
reason
never
not to.
did it
It's
before.
yeah, it's amazing what can happen when you inform people about systems that
Yeah.
like it. What you do glean from how intricate this is, whereas usually like with a lock mechanism, usually it's a situation maybe that, let's say these are the pins. Let's just imagine a lock that has the pins that you put down, Skyrim style. Usually it's like that. This one seems to be spiraling all throughout this piece. And it's just very intricate and you're doing your best, but in this particular instance, it's not happening. If you want to take longer at it and just over the course of 15, 20 minutes, you could probably jimmy this no problem.
Yeah.
But you could keep trying, but you feel like you could also potentially damage this lock permanently and essentially lock it forever. If that makes any sense.
Make it so we need to find another way.
Correct. So there's the risk of breaking it and not being able to open it. There's also the risk of taking the time to actually get it right.
What kind of door is the lock on?
All these doors have been this like stone metal kind of hybrid thing.
I don't mind waiting.
It's like stone, but it's like this obsidian, like stone, black stone, but also fused with metal in it. Especially around where those lights are coming from, intricate work for what seems to be an old primitive structure.
Sure.
Well, I'm willing to try thieves' tools again. Would you help me?
Of course.
All right. $23.
And as Flint has now described to you how this mechanism is all around and starts trying to help guide you, you start to feel your tools quake as they're being stressed too far. But then it kind of does you feel it click into place and watch as the lock kind of spirals itself before the door slides away, revealing the next room.
See, it's a very high tension that
So
particularly effective against turtles. Not that I know.
that room looks like this.
This is the lock-picking lawyer. Shout out.
Shit, that ain't even wrong.
What do you see, Sheriff?
What you see in the room above seems to be some sort of
Circle.
work table, and in the center of the room is this stone-like, I don't know if dais is the right word, but just a raised circular structure. You can't tell what that is without getting hell of a lot closer.
All right, onward and inward.
Very well put.
Like here,
This makes me happy.
I'm just scooting everyone into the room.
Scoot, scoot.
So you see some sort of runic shape carved into this circular piece. Nothing strikes any of these characters inherently. You can try if you want to try and discern them. They don't appear to be religious in nature in any way. It's a language to you that you don't know, but it's not. It's akin to what you've been finding on papers that you've collected.
Would you like to take a break to eat some pizza?
We can break.
Are you hungry? Oh, you're already. Oh, if you're eating already, like, we're good. Cool. I'm fine with playing through eating. That works for everybody. Cool. Runic symbols. Can we do some kind of check? I'm looking to see what powers.
All right, I'd like to use my untrained Arcania.
You can do that.
7, 4, 4. Yeah, it's 4.
The symbol's all right.
An insight
Bait
check
sign.
to see if there's some based on what we've run into with the brains and the runic symbols. If there's any like kind of 2 and 2 put together here.
Sure.
26.
26. Trying to weave tapestry. They don't necessarily seem inherently linked. Like, from what I've gathered as a DM and your character, they don't know a whole lot about magic. No one here does. But what you might know about magic, this doesn't necessarily seem linked to brain specific magic, if you had whatever that may mean. It's more of like, if I had to put a thing on it,
Well, it depends. Did you like it?
Should put a thing on it.
You should put a thing on.
it's hard. Insight on this.
On single checks. On single checks.
Yeah.
That's about
You
it.
can't. Yeah. You can't discern. You can't discern what this was used for, other than this is definitely used for magic.
May not be the right character to put.
And with the insight, looking around the room and its bareness, I think this is the right way to do it. And the table behind you that has stuff strung about it, you can kind of gather that there's magic here. This looks like the kind of place that's meant to be safe. This could be experimentation, some kind of experimentation room, some place where they are doing something with magic that they don't necessarily, that they want to keep control over. Whoever architected this room, that was the intent. Is that the right term? Probably not, but you understand what I mean. I think that's what your insight check will bring you.
That's pointedly.
But again, there's that stone circular area, and there is a desk on that wall.
Can I look at the desk
You
and investigate that?
Sure. Sounds great to me. Go ahead and investigate it.
Anyone else looking at that with me?
Sure.
I have your help. 11.
There's a lot here that you just don't understand. that book, and there's like a book there that seems to have some sort of language recorded in it. The only image you can make out seems to be almost like that classic image of man that we have in our minds,
The Vitruvian Man.
but very much more magic oriented in some capacity.
The Vitruvian Mage.
Make a perception check since you're there doing this.
14.
One thing that does catch your eye, though, through all this, that seems odd to be here, is a bag that is rust colored with a drawstring top.
Just when I hear rust-colored bag, my D&D senses tingle. So.
Yeah. I definitely want to take a closer look.
Who wants weasels?
I'll just pocket it for further investigation
Okay.
later, I guess, unless
Sure.
someone specifically recognizes what this is.
Is there anything within the bag?
I open and look.
Okay.
You your trapper eye catches what looks to be like bundled pelts within this bag.
Any for particular animal I recognize, like native to the area?
Not really.
Okay.
At this juncture, just looking into it like that, it looks indiscriminate. You'd have to actually like take it out of the bag and find out what's going on.
Yeah. Is this the time to do that? Should we wait till we have some downtime to whatever it is that comes out of this?
Oh, okay. I just was asking if there's something in the bag. I didn't. The bag, right? I don't- Okay. What's in it?
Pelts?
Oh, okay.
In before it's actually triples.
There's some trouble
They
there.
start just coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like it could be valuable. We'll take a look later. Helps us solve the problem, right? I don't
Something.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's just indiscriminate fur of different types. Just looking into the bag, that's what you can see, without actually examining the fur within. So there's another portcullis to the north, and a door to the east.
What can we see beyond the portal?
I'll take a look.
Mm-hmm. Looking through the portcullis, you can catch the glimpse of the room from there, from that vantage point. Let me get the right spot.
Oh.
And I'll give you a little bit of this as well, because you should be able to see a little something. What you can make into this room, far across from you, you can see one piece of what looks to be like a raised platform area, an unlit brazier, and off closer to you, toward the center of the room, off to the left, you can see just one fraction of what looks to be a tall black obsidian pillar. It doesn't appear to reach the full height of the room, so but it never connected there. It doesn't look broken. It looks like just a piece standing there.
Obelisk.
Yes.
2,000 space.
Why do I hear?
It is square
Why
at
do
the
I
base.
have strings constantly playing and monkeys?
It is square at its base, but as it reaches its apex, it slowly tapers off into a more triangular piece, like four-sided course at the top. Does that make sense? I mean, it's only the one point, but like there's four sides that converge into this.
It make a pyramid.
But it's not wide like a pyramid. It's probably only five.
Washington Monument?
Yes. Washington Monument. Not
It
nearly
washed
as
Sure, yes.
big. The ceiling in this room is probably 40 feet tall, and this thing is a good 30.
And I described that to compatriots.
Yep, that's an obelisk.
Is there some kind of mechanism that seems like it would easily open to support colors?
Hold for pizza. Okay. There does seem to be another lever on the inside of this.
And I point that out as well.
Do we want to go this way?
Sure.
I mean, it had my curiosity, but now it has my attention.
I'll move out of the way. And allow, I guess, Shra, are you taking a shot at this?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Oh, my land.
That's okay.
Oh my wow.
We all got something. We're good. You're just going for it, taking the time. Okay. A little longer. Doors open. Are you entering?
I'm going to let someone else go first. Share?
Yeah. Take a point. Take a point.
Entering this room, you see the mirrored half of the side you've already seen. There is, in fact, a large platform behind, two unlit places. A large, ornate casket sits on top.
Ooh. What's the square piece?
That is the obelisk.
Oh, right.
Got some mixed feelings being in this room.
Yep.
It feels a touch. Feels just a touch sacrilegious.
Are you hearing
To tell you the
those?
truth, it feels highly religious.
No, I mean like what some of us might be fixing to do. Speaking of, we're gonna do that pally burst again. Celestials, fiends, undead,
Yes.
consecration, desecration.
One moment.
What's the difference between the two?
Consecrated is holy, desecrated is specifically unholy.
Okay. What does that mean in terms of the difference between the two and how they act? Or
Essentially, either way, it's a highly religious piece of land to give with some kind of power.
No.
No?
No, I mean,
Okay.
yes to you. No to Flint.
And
Sorry.
And whether that be good or evil, he can protect either.
Sorry, that discussion
Yeah,
was
exactly.
happening.
Like somebody gone out of their way to seriously religion up the room towards positive or negative energy.
Got it. Okay.
You know, like it would pick up holy water.
Right. Or unholy.
Right.
I don't think so. If when this all ends, and you're like, you know what, that totally was evil. We'll talk about it. But my understanding of how things are working here, I would say no.
Yeah, like is this Jesus's room Or does it radiate with a menace? Does it muda muda?
I think the surroundings and ambiance of this place has a particular sense of foreboding, but I don't think you're getting a tingle for a specific intention for it to be the way you described. At this point, you can tell that this is definitely a burial chamber for someone of high importance. Most likely, possibly the same figure that you saw in that registry. And I'm assuming you are still kind of within this doorway. You have not entered this room properly.
I am personally struck with the religious awe of the room and do not wish to enter unnecessary.
Just think about how dark vision works for you, and I don't think there's any more information to give you unless you get closer to objects in this room.
If there's something of value in it, I think that we must go ahead and take a look at find that.
As long as we're ready to fight it first.
Oh, I think we're prepared to fight it. Sheriff, are you gonna cause issue if I go open up this thing up here?
I don't know if it's right to disturb a sleeping place of a god.
That's it.
I'm thinking I should light these braziers and then we'll see what happens.
Accelerate.
Is there any
All I'm going to say is that if there's something in here, it ain't it's only sleep.
All these light fixture things are this way. They've passed by. You can tell they have not been used in so long. Anything that was used to ever burn these things is long gone. This crypt is old. And I think we tried to discern it before with like stonecraft and stuff like that, and it was made during a time before any of your recollections.
Yeah, even the gods ever walked, this was where they did it. Or something like that.
They are of a metal nature, of some sort of ornate brass type that will stand the test of time and can be lit if the proper materials are used to light them.
When we lit the first ones?
They're literally a metal basin made for
What
burning.
did we do?
Was it with the tinder box?
Yeah, we did about it.
Like tinder boxes with?
We have torches and whatnot too that can probably be broken up and tossed in there. I'm sure we have a lot of things that can be used. If lighting the braziers is what we're trying to do. I am hearing a couple people that may not want to enter this room whatsoever.
Look, as long as we don't go intentionally pissing off the dead.
That.
And a gentle reminder, because it's been a few sessions since we started this, and just in case we're forgetting, there are other paths you have not taken in this place as well.
Yeah.
Actually, this may inform some choices. How should paladins feel about the undead, strictly speaking, in this setting? Should I send this blight back to the Dulot, or is it ambiguous?
Well, just like in D&D itself, there are many different things that fall under the undead. Not all evil, for sure.
Right.
In fact, there are even like good aligned undead in monster manuals. I've literally looked at them. So, in keeping with that, I would say the majority of undead that would probably be encountered on a daily basis in Elloria aren't usually good, but there's a chance.
All right, let's we got that 1 in 100 shot.
At one point, right?
I'm probably cool with fucking it up then.
I think zombies and skeletons and mindless monsters are usually what you find, but you never know. This seems a little more important than that, right?
My goal is never to disturb any spirits, but my understanding is that we are very concerned about a debt that we are owing to a certain guild, and there may be something valuable in that valuable little metal box up there.
Not enough to incur a wrath God.
The box itself could be considered valuable just looking at it. Like, you know, it looks like somebody crafted this for opulence.
To quote, and the
No,
box
function.
looks nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Also,
does.
I feel like
I'm not telling you to take the box. I'm just saying it is opulent. It is engraved. It is crested.
It could have put anything inside a fancy box. There could even be a fancy box inside.
Yeah.
What's in the box?
I feel like we're trying to clear this dungeon for the town's safety as well, in fear that things may come creeping out.
9 times
And
out of
that is-
10.
That
Yeah,
is
that's
pinging
out of
my radar for something that needs addressing.
I mean, that's a fair point.
You're wrong.
I'll give you guys that.
9 times out of 10, this town is my charge.
So I feel like we shouldn't be leaving stones unturned when we're going to just make sure nothing comes creeping out of here.
That being said, I understand that you two have an issue with perhaps actually doing the deed. I, however, have no issue whatsoever.
Nor do I.
Well, I got my plausible ability.
And I saw my arms out. I'm assuming it's not been 10 minutes since the last time we bought something. Oh, no, definitely. You're right. I'm silly. I'm down. We took a long, short rest. We're good.
Also, there was literally just 10 minutes taken to open this portcullis.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Tower goes ahead and says, well, when you are ready, everyone, let me know, and I will do the thing.
And Aaron, I won't move back with you.
Okay. Well, as you pass through this room and you get close to this obelisk, you can now see, being that close, there seems to be etchings in each end of it.
Etchings? Can I?
Like engravings,
Oh,
you all, like stone carvings.
I know what you mean.
That's not important.
I was gonna ask if I could like perceive them or incite them or something to see if I could know anything.
You can perceive them. How do you want to go about it? My question to you. Are you like looking at it? Are you touching this object? Are you?
I'm leaning it very close and looking at the details of the object itself.
Okay. Make a perception.
I think I did.
Oh, did you on here?
Yeah, but I didn't.
I'm not tracking this because
Yeah.
some people aren't using it. So
Yeah, totally.
if you roll on here, just let me know and I can tell.
Oh, that's not 26. Is that
20%.
perception?
You start to notice in places there does seem to be some imagery. It looks to be like, at least on the side that you're currently looking at, it looks to be telling a tale in pictures of the construction of this place. And there's a lot of what? Would you know that? What's your religion?
It's God of creation.
I get that. What's your?
Oh, how into it am I?
Is
Not that.
I was going to ask, is Tower the kind of being that has like? Would they understand any sort of religion?
Power itself has no kind of real religious background.
It's literally just that God is like the thing that
Yeah,
it has connotated.
exactly. Essentially, when it was created, the folks that created it were like, God, the God of creation grants you a sphere or whatever. And it's kind of like with it. I'm going to go ahead and ask for a pause just for like 30 seconds. Boop.
Basically, just I don't know. Somebody gave me a stick, told me, and
Stop. Right? Is that perfect? Great. You're my homeboy. And just to save it again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Unpause. We're good.
Okay. So, like I was saying, the pieces that you're able to put together from this, it looks like the creation of this building. There seems to be some like creatures of like winged type grandiose creatures overseeing this construction and this image, and that's what you can confer there yourself, at the very least.
And as I'm looking at this, I'm telling the story as I can see it out loud.
But to my recollection, that's just one side of this four-sided structure that you're looking at.
Sure.
It kind of goes up until the peak of this thing. It doesn't reach the full point, the imagery. It stops a good 5 feet from the top of it.
Okay.
It's just on the portion that's about 30 feet tall.
Can I religion it to see if I have any cross-reference from this image?
Sure.
21.
Nothing in the current pantheon really sticks out as like, oh, this is a image of Anubis or whoever, right? But what it is kind of setting the bells off in your mind about is the ancient ones themselves. Like this is a lot of imagery that is usually kind of more or less associated there.
The winged beings.
Right. Not the ancient ones, if we remember the history of this place, not the first people. The first people are the ones that went against these peoples. Anyways, I feel like I'm muddying my explanation. This seems to be ancient one imagery. Rulers of the
Till this one. Well, all right. I'm going to go ahead and open this thing. Walking up. Yes.
Please excuse us. Please.
But
please
still, you were looking at this thing. So
Yes.
you would also know in that imagery, you notice some of that same, like how it was on the exterior, how there was those raised, like almost rivet-like parts of the stone, like a rivet, like a bubble of. Okay, so sometimes the facial expression, I'm like, did I say it wrong? And I'm not being clear.
I'm usually following you.
Okay.
I usually just know.
I understand. That's fine. This is also stone.
Whoa!
But yes, rivet-like bumps on it that you have conferred before to mean possibly some kind of language.
Sure.
Should I like these creatures?
Oh yeah. Like that first. Here, I will actually break up one of my torches from my explorer's pack and put it into this one.
Fantastic. I'll use one use of my tinderbox. And firebolt with the bow.
Okay. Assuming it works the same way it worked last time, I don't know why it wouldn't. We'll just call these babies lit. The room is now brightly lit. Or at least as brightly lit as it can be under the circumstance. It does a fair job. And now you can really see that imagery on all four sides of this pillar. But it's different. It's not the same. If you were to look at another, like the back piece, let's say, or you're kind of in the back. So the side that Aranoa would be facing on this pillar is not the same as the side that Tower was facing.
You just close your character sheet.
Oops.
Why you do this? It's fine.
It's right there. Okay.
Oh yeah, you have blazing brazen. Not a bad team name, blazing brazens. No color though. No cheers.
It just
Does blazing not color?
ooh, interesting. In like 77, it's like brazen brazier is the name, right?
Does anything happen when like the brazers? Not other than the room becoming
Okay.
brightly lit.
Well, then.
Yep.
I suppose we should open it.
I'm
Well,
gonna open-
let's keep checking the obelisk. Let's see if we got any more stuff going on the obelisk.
Would you two like to join us in here, or do you want to? Are you staying in the doorway?
I'm good.
Well, in for a penny, in for a feather. Let's go. I don't intend to hit the rest of the time either. So let's go.
There.
Maybe up over here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
go up into the doorway. I don't really want much part.
Okay. I should grab the lid of this thing and try to get it open.
Don't feel any less paladin right now. We're good.
Okay. Make a strength check.
14.
Doesn't budge.
Oh well, we try. Let's keep looking at that up.
Aaron, no, perhaps both of us together might be able to.
Yeah, I'll help you.
And I guess I'll do advantage this time.
Flint, you keep saying, let's keep looking at the obelisk. You're not helping them lift this stuff. If you want to look at the obelisk, you may.
All right, I'm going to check the other
Just
side.
giving other players other things that they can do.
Absolutely. Let's do that first.
Go ahead. Okay. We'll say in the time that you're trying to lift this lid, Flint is looking over this obelisk. Shra, standing as the supervisor of all work.
Yeah. Gradually leaning out the door. Just
Just shaking your head.
Uncertain if we know what clockwise is in this world, but I'm going to go clockwise around.
We have clocks.
Yeah, I'll go clockwise around the structure, looking at pictures.
Assuming you're starting where tower was with the picture that you know, the next picture looks like imagery of some sort of like the people that were building this structure before are now in service of the beings that are still above this structure. It's much like almost the same imagery that you were seeing before. Then there is a image of the being that was above is now below it. The ziggurat on top, the being below it, and the people under the being, arms raised. And the final image is the being below the structure. And all along these images, those same little rivet-like stone. It doesn't look like stone placed on stone. It looks like it was carved into these like rivet shapes. It is smooth with the stone.
How many of these do we have?
How many of the rivets?
Yeah.
Without me trying to come up with an exact number for each side, it is multiple. Like I said before, you've kind of decided amongst yourselves before that this is some sort of language or something. They have been touched before, obviously. That's how we got here. But quite a number on each side.
Is that what I felt to press in the button to raise the door behind Tapestry? Is that something
Different.
So these little rivets are the same things as we had on the outside when we touched them.
Yes.
People had visions.
That is true.
Well, I feel left out. So.
Make an intelligence check.
Touch.
13.
You are in this room, but it seems better lit, and you seem to be now amongst your friends, but you're holding that ornate box. Or it's not the box. You're holding what feels like a humanoid form, wrapped in cloth, and you're carrying it up this dais to the box, which you are laying in the box amongst some valuables, indiscriminate in this vision, we're calling it, but definitely laying trinkets around this body. And the person that you're looking at is Shra, seems to be holding this strange piece that looks mostly metal worked, some, again, black stone mixed in, that is being placed into the hands of this wrapped individual and pressed against, and the lid is coming over the top. And a single word forms in your mind. But quickly, your brain is trying to grab at that word and understand it. Is it a word? It's a name, question mark, which comes to you as Arangual. Not Aaron, but Arangual.
Arangual.
And you come back to in front of this obelisk. Hand still touching the nubs.
Arangual.
Strength check.
Yes.
Arangual.
Strength check, please.
16 total.
The lid of this box bursts in an upward fashion towards the ceiling. Make dexterity checks if you're around the box.
Yep.
Look, checks 6.
This would be a safe. You're trying to get out of the way of the fallen stone lid.
Shouldn't have had advantage, but
9.
18.
Tower. I think you get out of it just fine. Do you have anything that stops you from taking any damage in this case? I guess that's sort of up to me. Well,
my steel defender can't be surprised. Could it in some way? I would have it's trained to defend. So
what?
it's like right there. I don't know. Just adding that into the mix, if that matters at all. It could not matter at all, and that's fine.
I'm trying.
Just informing you of things about my
I'm
character.
trying to give you a reason for it to be a thing. And I'm
It
struggling.
sensed it before and pushed her out.
Yeah, I mean,
Aranoa's actually Aranoa.
Yeah, I was helping.
yeah, they're there. You and Aranoa for sure are there. Probably the defender. You know what? Go ahead and roll again, as if you had an advantage for your defender being there.
I'll take it. That's 11.
Great. You take
Yeah.
forward damage as
Okay.
this lid scrapes you in the ankle, and it doesn't feel good. You might have one of those rashy, like bloody scrape things. No immediate permanent damage to your leg, thank God. If you had been 1 inch to the gods, sorry, if you'd been like 1 inch to the right, you might have lost that whole thing. And what bursts forth from the top of this thing is a humanoid figure. Shaking their head on disapproval.
And I told you so.
Boom. Well, I guess we'll have to wait for Flint to get back so that we can have this underway.
Break for cake?
Sure.
If people want.
Sure.
I'm not stopping recording.
No, definitely. I'm just gonna walk away quickly. Hey, look, you can get what they want.
Arms raised in a V. Just like the day we heard. Daddy.
We were recording this break.
Yeah, and I'm not stopping the recording. That's it. Should have taken this break 15 minutes ago or whatever. When did we have that break? But I don't care. I'm not tripping. Oh, I don't feel like I'm ready to eat cake. I don't feel like I'm ready to eat the rest of the slice of pizza. Yeah, other people can cake. 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 Arms raised in a V.
I'm not sure if you heard what happened. But when they were trying to lift the lid after you came back to, blew the top off, and up came what you would now know to be Arangual.
Arangual?
Arangual. When your heart is sweet to them all.
You taste it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
the taste of caramel and rose.
So everyone knows it has raspberry filling.
Ooh.
Leave that heart alone. She's gonna need that again.
Are we initiatizing?
We are. I was just waiting for
Thank you.
folks to come back.
21, 14.
Oh, I guess I'll do it.
Sure.
Oh, oops.
Token and then upper left. Under the thing. It's should this one. Yeah, the button. There you go.
Same thing again.
So Flint, that was 21.14.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Wait,
Right,
why is
that
it only 2.1 up there? What's my dexterity bonus is way higher than that. I don't know why it's not
2.1?
yeah. 2.14. My dex is 18. So it should be 4.18.
14.14.
Where's
Oh no, that was Aranoa. That was
Yeah.
Aranoa's roll.
Yeah.
That's what happened there. It just the name under initiative it says
I'm
Aranoa.
sorry, Shaw, I did not
That's
quite
my
catch that. Okay. What was it? I mean, not Aranoa. I said Aranoa, I meant to say Shaw, right?
14.1.
Keck?
What the?
Does everybody hear that? And the one's a keck.
Okay, I think everyone is on here. That needs to be right this second. I suppose I should probably roll
Nah.
initiative for this creature, this person.
so no.
You can just go.
I suppose they haven't immediately shown themselves to be hostile.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
But they are here. I never opened them, huh?
I'm there for you.
Ooh, is
They're
that
ready
true?
to fight.
Excuse me?
I mean, all right.
I don't think you're supposed to just
Oh.
call someone here.
Like I think I have to wait for that.
All right. That
No
number.
matter how obvious.
Maybe Sharon knows something
Maybe
we
that
don't
could be that
There's a
number.
reason I was hanging out with them. I don't know what that means either.
So, yeah, 1, 4. So
Daddy, give a shot. Lord, with some
okay. Okay.
Danger. Wake Jared smoking.
It's really weird to actually put lyrics to it after so long of just making assumptions about it.
So,
I've mumbled through it so many times. That's what this is. Oh.
are we muscling through having combat with Kate?
Yeah.
Cake fight.
I believe you can see.
Cake fight.
I believe you can see who's at top initiative. Not.
Yeah, that'd be me, and I'm going to delay my turn until this guy does something overtly threatening towards us, and I'm going to open with. Damn it, what's his name again? What name did I get?
Arangual.
Arangual. Arangual.
Greetings, Arangual. Are you a benevolent being?
So, what you see as well, I should describe it. It does have some very ornate, like, jewelry of importance. I know it's not in this image here, but it does have some sort of strange headpiece of some kind, and it is missing its entire bottom half of its mouth area. From here down is gone,
Oh, well, they're going to
and
answer
all
me.
this is completely deteriorating. And it is very, very mummified, both from time and actual mummification.
Sure. Both will do it.
So all you hear is the sound of air escaping a hole in this area of just as it kind of begins to reach out towards you.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to count this as a danger.
But holding your action for its first sign of I hate you.
Basically.
Shra, that would be your turn.
I'm also holding till immediate danger, and I'm gonna say, I hope you understand that I played no part in this disturbance. And oh shoot, and I mean no harm or disrespect. Yeah.
Okay.
Provided that you are indeed worth a lack of disrespect. We just got certain prejudices here.
Well, let's see.
I mean, I walked into your house. I understand that much.
It just makes sense.
First time adventurer, long time woman.
Technically right in front of you, tower.
Fat bottom girl.
I'm also pretty sure your house is against zoning ordinance.
I should make a music thing for every time I summon fat bottom. Fat bottom girl. Like trails off. Nothingness.
That would be cute.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
definitely put the work in.
We're going to evolve into
Okay.
fucking soundboard cues.
Yeah.
So it's going to unsheath a blade that it has on it.
That.
Are you seeing this?
Well, a blade? No.
Did you see my roll?
Oh no, not
Okay.
the rolls. The rolls.
That was a as it flies by you. 13. I'm gonna let you guys do your attacks in between because it will attack again. So this is the first sign of it being hostile. It has swiped a almost scimitar-like shaped blade as it swings by a tower, but the tower's able to get out of the way. So those who are holding their action on this thing,
Except, are you allowed? I
No.
can't really come here
Just
anyway,
your
so it doesn't matter. I guess I
actual-
did that thing. So I did not.
you could have moved and then held it. So
I was staying where I was.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
I
saying that's how you do that. If you
Right.
want to move, then you got to move and then hold your action, and then use your action when the time on the proc.
Well,
Yeah,
and
so in
also
that
I
case,
haven't
if,
really seen it enter my party members
If
yet.
and Matt
So
could move next to the target.
I will do that.
You've definitely seen it try.
Too far.
Too
One
far.
back.
I'm
I
saying
wouldn't
there's a
wanna get that.
difference from walking out to someone and saying like I played no part in this, and or staying where you are, and I wanted to stay where I
Yeah.
was. So
I'm just letting you know for the future. If you're like, dang it, I wanted to move, you gotta move it before. You gotta use your turn to move and bonus actions, I think, and then you can hold your action. So like, I want to wait by this corner to strike when someone comes around it. Whatever.
18 to hit.
18 to hit. That will hit. Congratulations.
All right. So that's going to be the D6 for sneak because I know I got friends nearby. Hitting for the full 6 and then 3d8 worth of smite.
woo! Wow.
10,
Did you want some cake?
16, 17, 18 plus the 6 is 24. Sorry, 22. 22 damage. The quantity of that is radiant.
Well, it's undead. So did you already double your
And
D8s?
is
Or extra
Is it
D8?
extra?
Yeah, it is.
It's an extra 1d8.
Pretty big at this level.
Okay. 23d8.
23 damage.
Nice.
At level, what are we?
Three.
3?
Kablam! It's even brighter in here. And this thing reels in hissing pain as it gets hit. But it still manages to do this thingamajig. So I need Tower to make a Constitution save. And that's 21 to hit.
It's 8. That's it.
So,
But there's a Constitution says to you.
Yep.
You have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. That's not a thing. No. Sleep is can't do that. So I don't know if any of that's a thing.
So you ain't getting the ride.
you lose 5 health as this attack with claws scrape into the metal, and you feel your metal. You feel the life energy that infuses you dim, and just know that 5 hit points is going to be a permanent. Your hit point maximum is reduced by 5.
That's fine. You know that now.
But it will be your turn after that.
That being said, it is going to go ahead and use its ability, Rockin' World, when it summons Fat Bottom Girl, requiring. Oh, not strength save. It should be a dex save. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm working on getting it set up now. That's a bonus action.
Make much of a difference. 17 is what they've rolled.
It's a 14, so they beat it to not do any of that damage. But it is going to follow that up with a 2-handed quarterstaff attack. 23
That'll hit.
with that 6 behind that.
Whap!
Whoa. It has a wet ass.
Oh, sorry. I need the. I still need the.
Sorry.
Yeah, find out. And so yeah, I spent.
I believe it's a withered herring. Barrow.
That's a great stand name too. No, I'm just thinking.
No, pussy control is a great stand.
Yeah.
That would be so good.
I'm just hearing Joseph Joestar
Using the
In
power
the-
of my
in the
stand.
subverse of just being like, "Get this pussy! Oh my god!"
Oh,
Or it's like a hydro stand. It's just like
It looks like a cat.
heavy flow.
I like it.
Yeah, I can see it.
JoJo Part 10 is looking really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Wait till JoJo Part 9 starts, y'all.
Okay. Off balance, on balance.
I'm gonna have to like get a picture. I need to. That's what I need to start doing is like time marking and where to put the games.
So does that conclude Tower's turn?
It will conclude this turn.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I'm going to start by moving the sealed fender up here. And it's going to attack 13 to hit.
13 will sadly miss this creature.
All right. And then I will use my spear and the crossbow.
Okay. But it will return to you.
Okay, well,
You hear impact the stone wall behind, come back down, almost as if it bounced off. We're up back to Flint.
Well, that's quick. All right, let's.
How is it? Well, I don't want to interrupt your turn. Please go.
All right, I'm out of slots, so we're just going to be stabbing him old fashioned. 13 to hit.
13 will miss.
All righty. Good.
That's all of it?
Yeah. I'm out of flash.
Whoa. Sure. It was a big flash. Well worth the
Ah,
I don't have more spell slots for Daka.
just gonna do it on.
Time to take a dip into Warlock.
Sure, we'll be loud.
Why did it go twice? I don't know.
No,
So
seriously.
the
I
first
did
one
this.
sadly misses.
Warlock did for Paladin.
Does it for Shroff?
Just for 2 more spell slots out of fucking nowhere that come back on short rest.
Any
Smites
my
days.
mo.
If you can patron your original god, it's even better.
That's interesting.
To have like a really weird relationship with you.
Yeah, you finally get to meet them after worshiping them for a while, and then you make kind of contracts. Like, yeah, let's do a thing together.
Yeah, but then you go into flame too, so it's like 2 flavors of smite.
Like it.
It's using its blade against the construct, the bestial construct.
Oh, that
Okay.
That is a 21 to hit.
It hit.
That has 9 slashing damage as it's going to reach its hand out and claw at Flint.
Are you gonna put that on?
Yeah.
I need a Constitution save from Flint, please. The attack. Oh, wait, well, yeah, the attack is 17. Does that hit Flint?
That does not.
Okay, never mind.
Also, just for clarity's sake, whatever that effect is, does it count as poison?
No.
Fuck. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Dwarven Constitution is going to help you here.
Tower would specifically have felt their life energy sap.
So I guess it poison or necromancy?
Flint would have.
Both.
I suppose Flint would not know that, but Tower would. It is Tower's turn.
Tower's turn.
It's not going to change Flint's plan.
Oh, wait. I think it fucked up? No, this is right. It's Tower's turn.
Okay, yeah, Tower's turn. Tower is gonna go ahead and hit it with his 2-handed quarterstaff. Probably not.
Was that the last? Okay, yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately,
Wait, why did it? Tower should. There should be, yeah, this is the amount of key points that Tower should have after blowing. One just right now.
Phrasing.
After blowing Armangello, to go ahead and use the flurry of blows and fat bottom drill this thing twice.
This pie
That
is
bottom
very.
row. We'll
You
get
got to
through
blow to get critical in this dungeon.
What's going on here? Come on. That's weird. The token is giving me a different AC than what the character sheet says.
Weird. That is.
And this is all I did was change names and pictures on this. on
Is
this
it
monster.
possible to pull the
Nope.
character from not the player's not the monster manual, but from the what's the general thing that's unpaid. There's a bunch of monsters that you have free as well, and part of like the
The SRD stuff.
SRD. That's the.
I guess I
assuming
don't
It
know
wouldn't
for
be
sure.
different. SRD wouldn't be different from anything in the published book.
Okay, I'll leave it up.
I don't think it's that. I think it's just some weird goofiness. And of course it doesn't matter. I know the numbers that both those go through it. So that's just 10 force damage total. Is there anything else going on there?
That's it. 10
Okay.
force damage total. That should be the end of powers.
Okay. Boom, boom. I know that fat bottom is like an arms thing, but I just really want it to use its bottom.
We can flavor it that.
I mean, no, but don't do that just because I say that. It can be arms make sense, but I just always picture like this apple bottom stand, just like doing like
Apple
these
bottom.
Like
And
these jump butt slams. Fuck, put them there. So that's -10.
It's
Of course.
stand bird.
Mhm. All right.
Okay.
Damage noted.
He
And
hits so
taken.
wild. He hits so wild. He hits so wild.
Paranoia.
Oh, okay. I will have my steel defender take the repair action, which will restore 2d8 plus 2 damage or hit points.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Now, lady.
7 hit points back. And I need
You see the power of my set. Outcast.
Oh, I like it.
Damn it.
Force
You
of
just
you-
cast damage.
Oh no! What
Yeah,
you do?
just cast damage.
Did you see it? It causes like concussions. It forces you. To
and I will use my spear.
Oh no! It
That's
transforms
a-
people into Polaroid.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I like that. That's a weird.
Like fucking what's his face?
Kiri
Sadly, yes.
I was
Your
gonna go.
creature's healing.
Who's the game?
Darby.
Darby.
With the turn doing the trading card.
Clint, we are back to you.
One of the Darby brothers.
Stab it! Stab the piss out of it! Oh, 13, I hate it.
That will miss.
Carry on.
My way was.
Tra.
Mm,
And mind you, this thing hasn't even left its box. That's what I love. It's just like sat up and it's just coming at you.
Coming out of my terror
17.
into the real life.
17 will hit. Absolutely.
6 slashing. Whip.
Got it. Momentarily wrapping around one of its wrists, it looks and then yanks free. Sorry, damage was what now?
6.
Thank you. His turn.
Power of my creed forces you to stand in T-pose
No,
with arms wide.
I like that. I was gonna say it forces you to fucking observe social distancing because you're 6 feet.
Looks like he's going to bring my blade at Flint is still right there, so he's got a blade at him.
my steel defender is going to try to deflect the attack, which imposes disadvantage.
Sure. No, I could hit disadvantage, but I'm just gonna roll. Okay. This is with a 6, natural 6. I know that ain't gonna do it. So
Stand BTO.
and towards our dear friend Power
Breaking the habit.
comes another grasped out hand. That's a 23 to hit.
Oh yes.
That will be a Constitution save again, please.
Here we go. Get on my own.
That's gonna be another 7 added to that 5.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah. Song. Pretty much. Fade or something to innocence. Fade to innocence.
That was it.
Okay. His tower screen.
Yeah. It is going to do another turn, very much like last turn. Blow another key and come at this thing with full force. Quarterstaff. Fat bottom
Hit.
girl. Fat bottom.
Hit. It's 16 damage. Boom, boom, boom.
Now notice that a key point. And that will be its turn.
It definitely looks like you've done a number on this sleeping corpse.
Bloody.
Aranoa.
I'll go ahead and have Steel Defender attack again. It's gonna botch. And I'll attack with my spear. 19, so
I'll hit.
25.
Steer away.
9 damage.
Okay.
Ooh, fun.
Lynn?
Taking another swing. 14 to hit.
That'll hit.
Excellent. And that's going to be doing 10 damage.
Got it.
I don't feel like you're pissed at me yet, right?
Mhm.
I'll take your silence as a no. We're good.
It looks very, very rough. But it's still hanging on.
Louis.
Trawl.
Oh,
Combat's moving quick. Yeah, it's coming.
no.
No? What do you mean no? It's rolled really low? Okay. Flint, I need you to make an athletics check.
Athletics coming
As
around.
hands come in your direction and try to grasp on you.
20.
This is a... Okay. They just fall on you. They are very weak. They don't have the stuff behind them to give them substance. And you feel them just lightly rake across you as they're trying to grab at you to pull you close.
Nope.
But that's what it did. So that's what it do. It's in lieu of that, it's just gonna Hail Mary and try to move. 1, 2. Go ahead and swipe at it if you're close enough.
I think. Yeah, it does kind of leave my range at that point.
Yeah. 2. And still better.
Ooh.
I missed. Still defender. That's a 15.
I just realized that I'm supposed to be giving. No. Okay.
7 damage.
7 damage. Oh, plus that. Yeah, okay. What proceeds to happen is this thing gets beaten into a corpse again as it tries to flee the spot.
Gotcha, bitch.
It is inert.
Is it not already a corpse?
I said
Yes.
again.
It's double core.
Oh my god.
I
3 dead.
feel like the amount of damage it took simply not enough to let it try to come back to 1 hit point. And it lays on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, that occurred.
You see, there was a monster.
You're not wrong.
What else is in there?
Well, let's see. By my reckoning, there should be a sort of spiral device, possibly still on its person. Probably a couple of good.
It's more like I probably described it wrong. It's more like half a disc, like half of like a almost like a C shape of like
A kind of crescent, like half of a yin yang.
like this. This.
Anyway, there should be like a half circle. Unless
It's more
it's
like,
like-
like in a way, like
Okay.
it seems like it would stop here and here, and then a space between, but like circular in nature.
All right. There should be a half circle
still in there, vaguely C-shaped,
How do you know this?
unless it's still on them. And I'm going to check the body for said item.
This besides that blade that it had on it, that is now there's like a scabbard piece at his side, but the blade is now scattered across the floor there, like down the steps a ways. That's really and the stuff he was wearing. That's all that you see on him. That piece does not appear to be in that vicinity.
I like
Yeah, check the box.
What was the question?
You remember when you touched that thing outside? You said you had a hallucination of some sort. Yeah, we got those on the list. Touched them. Had a hallucination.
Oh.
Oh,
See that yourself.
I've ruined this dungeon paper forever.
Oh,
Conversation is taking its toll. Oh well.
that mass conversation.
It's spent so many years pristine in a binder or in an envelope. All it took was one Taco Bell cup to send it to hell. All right.
You
Why
saw
would you?
this thing and then reaping rewards or what?
No, I saw him in two. He were already dead. We were all there, but I assume we weren't all there. So somebody was there. He was in tune. A little disc thing was put in with him. Very specific, very gingerly, very proper, and all that. Also, probably what's inside the box is what went inside the box already. But you'll see it all. I'm going to go check out the part.
I'd like to see what I can perceive.
Help.
Perceive.
You'd like to perceive what you can perceive in the box.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the box and in the box.
What are you doing with that sword?
How preserved would you say it is? Relatively pristine.
It looks like it needs a little bit of tender love, but certainly usable. You felt it a few times.
Does it feel at all like it might be some sort of enchanted piece of work? Do you want an Arcana?
I do. Especially with this one.
4. Yep, that's a
Maybe.
scimitar, all right.
Could be. It's ornate. It's bedazzled.
It's nice at the very least.
But hell, anything can be magic as far as you're concerned.
Fair
You might
enough.
not know the difference. The box.
22.
Who cares? I wasn't gonna make you wolves.
What's it
But
about?
now you can feel confident that you have scoured this box, which is very nicely lined, padded. Scavenging through, you are able to acquire, so if so you desire. See what I did there? About 700 gold pieces.
Woo! Okay, I'm gonna open up the.
Hold on now. Your vision sauce keeps this.
There would be one thing that you did find on that corpse. In searching that corpse, in the headdress, for lack of a better thought in my brain right now, this headpiece that they're wearing, you find that a piece isn't exactly like fused in it. It can be removed, and you find a headband.
Ooh, nifty.
So
Also, is the word you're looking for biter? For like the big Pharaoh-esque hat?
essentially,
Biter.
So, are you putting down the sword and just the other thing you just found on your character sheet, or is that something we should be adding to this?
Go ahead and put the scimitar in the group thing. Although technically, I would put it next to the body to just be respectful.
sure. But in the
I'm
box,
trying not to piss off the ancients.
But you got this other thing, right?
I'm still holding on.
Okay.
Well, we're taking all this stuff. We aren't concerned. Didn't you say in your vision all of this stuff was with it?
Well, it was in tune with it.
But we killed the dead guy, so there shouldn't be anybody else that really needs it anymore, right?
I'm not gonna use them there.
It's not like we're going to find who it belongs to, right?
I think we just did.
Am I missing something? Was it a vision? I mean, I guess I haven't seen it, but we put the body in there with all.
Yeah, but if it's like what you said it was you, then it ain't us.
Oh, was that? Yes. Oh, right.
I mean, y'all don't remember going to Annapolis before, do you?
I see. What
And
you're
I
saying.
certainly
Okay.
do not recall burying
Valid points. So
undead creatures.
700 gold.
Scimitar and seven.
Okay, and there's also
Distinguishable.
a collection of onyx stones. There's about 10 of them.
A lot of onyx.
And amongst must have like on pretty much on top of all this because it was probably once on him is this piece that Frank has described, this like metallic disc like artifact piece that seems to be inlaid with like gold etching inside of
The
it.
big fancies.
It's probably, I'd say it's about this big. It's like a decent sized disc.
It's a half disc, and it's black with gold inlay. Kind of like the other stuff, or is it
Kind
vice
of like the other
versa?
stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So it is the black with the gold inlay.
Nah. I think it needs to be mostly gold.
So gold with onyx inlay.
Sure. Let's throw onyx in it.
Sorry, I'm just making sure. I have head cannon going.
Yes, I understand. It looks to be of the same technology of this place. Does it specifically look like the wall? No.
Okay, I got metallic gold disc crescent onyx artifact about this big. Next.
But you can see what I'm saying, right? It's probably if it is in fact like you're inferring one half or one piece of something that was a full circle,
I assume
the
it's-
circle would probably be about this big.
I have a personal assumption, like a Psycho Donuts donut pizza.
Yeah. Huh?
So yeah, about like probably no more than it's within a foot across, probably, right?
Like a big ass donut. All right, I'd like to make a.
And the disc itself is probably about this thick.
That's a thick disc.
It's,
Okay,
it's quite heavy as well.
I'm making a religion check.
Okay.
And if I don't get any specific information, I have a head cannon.
A religion check with the purpose of what? To see if this is any sort of like meaning within
Yeah,
that?
there's religious significance because I can think of it.
We didn't take off all the stuff. We turned in the gold, these gold things, right?
Correct.
And the portrait.
I'm pretty sure you decided to get
We
rid of
sacked
all.
everything.
Okay, there we go. This is what.
Oh, you did keep stuff as far as I'm
Yeah.
Yeah. The equipment.
religious wise, there are many circular symbols within religious
Don't forget
imagery in this universe,
Tar is interesting.
especially when we think of, even though the book of our pantheon doesn't call him that, I know it's another name, so I just keep saying Ra. Especially when we think of Ra being eyes and such, there's a lot of eye imagery, a lot of circular imagery. This very well could be connected to that. It's hard to really infer that with only a piece of the puzzle, if you will.
All right. That is how I'm going to infer it. Though.
Oh, roads lead to very possible.
Yeah, in Flint's mind, Flint is assuming the top half is solid gold, bottom half is probably like solid onyx, representing the 12 or representing the cycle of Ra. Probably an eye or something in the middle,
So cool.
somewhere between life and death.
So let's just find the
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that brings us a long way towards paying off the debt that we already owe. I assume with these spells that I don't think we're going to use, spell scrolls rather, we could probably get away with it at this point. So everything on top is gravy, as I say.
First of all, we ain't done
checking through this location. Yeah.
Oh, gravy is what I mean. Gravy.
I do love me some.
Never need to taste gravy. So,
Accurate.
You know what gravy tastes like?
no.
Bonus.
Tastes like bones.
Sort of a vis-a-vis circular logic.
So if you do want to continue going through this place, where would you like to go? You do have options. You have not been through this door. to my knowledge.
Easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's right
And then there's
there.
the door that I think that's the only.
As long as we're at this
See
end of the
one down
dungeon, I'll check
Mhm.
this door here.
There. Too.
This one?
Also, that
Oh,
dungeoneering
Yeah.
instinct kicking. Probably.
So, Sheriff, would you like to go take a look at that door then?
Damn straight.
And then let's move your ass.
You can warp yourselves to the appropriate place.
Gate.
Can warp.
You know what I'm saying. On roll 20, assuming that you've taken the appropriate time to walk down the corridors again.
Oh, you mean 6 seconds? Yeah, we got that.
Engage.
This looks like the west entry.
Is
It appears this door is locked.
well, it ain't gonna be for long.
Give it a shot.
Well, then,
15.
to the left. To the left.
Sorry. Oh, I think I just never put a thing like that in. That's the thing. 15?
Mhm.
It's much easier than that other lock. Rudimentary. And you open this up, no problem. It is quite dark in here.
Even with dark vision?
Well, a dark vision you can see through here. It is not magically dark, if that's your question. It appears you see the walls lined with chains. And against the northern wall, you see two skeletal remains that are still currently shackled there.
Well,
And there does seem to be an archway in this direction.
Look really big.
That's that's just roll 20 for you.
this tomb don't seem particularly official. Let's see what we got. If they were chained up, I don't imagine they had much on them. A perception, just to be sure. Then.
Oh, help.
That's going to be 12.
There's not much in this room besides the shackles and the corpses or the skeletal remains. It seems to be some sort of holding cell type situation, some sort of punishment room, if you will.
Well, I'd be lying if I said man, it wouldn't be useful. But let's try and pull those.
Okay. How would you like to try and pull those? They are embedded into the wall itself. The chain is emanating from the stone somewhere. That is just a description. That's not a...
Yeah, I don't have anything useful to do that with, per se. Yeah, no, I ain't got nothing. Well, actually, I got javelins. I can try wedging.
Okay.
What do you want? Strength attack?
I would want strength. And this javelin should help you. I'd say just give yourself add your javelin attack.
All right.
That's an attack roll.
There's going to be 8.
It's not coming free. You're not sure what the other end of this chain is like or attached to, but you get the sense it's going to take more strength than you're able to give with this javelin to pry it out.
All right, I'll leave that alone. You said there's an arch.
There is. To the south.
All right, let's go check it.
Passing through this arch, you find yourself at another door.
All right, sure enough.
We have not been to this door, if I know.
Oh, there's that.
That's where we heard the scratching from too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which talking about
Wait, what?
There's a hallway we haven't gone down that we heard scratching.
Oh, I know that. Oh, this is. This was room number. This.
You've been in this room.
Yep, we have. I'm just making sure I understand the. Okay, yeah.
All right. Well, one way or another, we'll be able to get back to this room. And so far, there doesn't seem to be anywhere we haven't checked this far in.
Mm-hmm.
So the next place of interest would be the.
Are you
the
opening
scrap-
this door or no?
No, we didn't.
Well, having learned my lesson, check for traps. Yes. 18.
You find one.
God, take a charge, Denver.
You want to try and take that gem?
Be careful. Hurts like a bitch.
Let's move Eric over there.
Yep. Wanna try?
Go ahead and do what you've done in the past.
Can I aid?
Yes.
They
18.
You retrieve a gem without getting hurt.
charge gem. All right, now we have.
It is not locked. It's simply trapped. And you find yourself back to that furnace room, which is now that you can see is connected to this holding room. This might not be a great room.
Yeah, no. Dude, this is not a happy place. It is not connected to happy places either. Yeah. I don't like this place.
Are you making your way to the other place?
Yep.
Finally rounding this corner. Wait, no.
I don't think you saved it.
No, I think I put it on my
Oh, that,
sheet.
You opened this southern door and looked, but did not go down the hallway. Is that what happened?
right.
Of
I can't see the one.
I know this room.
Sorry. Correct.
What did it show the thing?
This one. See how it's revealed?
Yeah, we know that
Wait,
one.
oh, you went through because you went down. You just didn't go around.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's where you are.
we know
If you
of
want-
this
If you
corner.
want to fast track
Yeah.
yourself there, then fine.
Yeah.
It's just weird looking at my screen here and then looking and then just not understanding like, wait, why did I reveal that much? Just making sure I understand what's up. Okay. Now that you've come around that corner, you see an archway leading into a room. Go away. And that's what you can see from where you're standing.
We still hear scratching?
No.
That's a new. All right, fancy new door. I'm perception down the hallway just to make sure nothing bad comes of it.
That's not a door. Sorry, that's an archway. You can see into the room, but it's dark from this distance. It's kind of out of your range of sight. Like you can tell it's an opening, but you can't make out full details. How far?
All right, still perception down the hallway, but it's an 8, so do it as you will.
Okay. Seems clear.
Moving on
Like moving on into the room.
to the arch.
Well, dark vision encompassing dark vision and all. In any case, you can see into this room now. There's an even larger area that looks much like the small one you went to before. This has a glass dome that was at least at one time fully over the top encasing this pool, but it's partly crumbled and broken. There's bits of glass in this disgusting, thick-looking water or liquid of some kind, and like just part of a domed glass piece that has crumbled away.
Is the purple anything specific?
That's the glass. That's the glass.
Oh, no.
There's a door to the north as well.
Can
Can't
I-
see that.
Can I more closely inspect the liquid?
In what way?
I just want to try to identify what it is. Is it water that's like all gross and old and murky, or is it some other substance?
Okay. And how do you want to do that? Like sensory,
Nature.
like smell, taste, touch.
Just looking at it right now.
So just side based.
Taking a whiff of the air, I suppose.
I'll give you that for free. It's most smells have been, even with the decay that's in here, aside from like the literal corpse you just fought, most smell is pretty much gone of that nature. It's mostly just damp, dusty, like staleness in this air. But if you get close to this substance and smell, it has this like stagnant swamp water would almost be how I could describe it, but something chemical about it as well, like old chemical water.
All right. Well,
So epitome. Gotcha.
And it looks like viscous. This might be a word I would use to describe the liquid inside of it. It's
Right.
not quite
This
thin
is
like
where
water.
The Joker was
It looks, it looks thicker than water, and there is like matter, chunks of matter that have just mostly diffused away, but just rotting in here.
Everybody is just one bad.
There's a
day
reason why
away.
you were sure.
Again, this one is deeper than the other one too. It's probably a good like 4 feet deep until the glass moves. Like the pool itself is probably about a good 4 feet.
suppose there's not much to do about this right now.
You could drown a dwarf.
We could. Let's just
I
move
think-
along.
Well, it'd be up to a dwarf's chin. But you could drown a gnome or a
You don't
half.
need very much to drown.
That's true. 2 spoons of water is all it would really take. Yeah.
That's not very shallow. That's not very deep.
It's like ankle deep for everyone else.
Whoa!
Ah, what happened? Did I do something weird?
No, I was responding to what you just said.
Dwarf beards are long. Everybody knows that.
Does anybody want to poke this thing with a stick to see if something pops out?
Not particular. I
Um,
suppose we should, though. I suppose we should, though.
I just think we're here to.
Fish
I love
the
this
scim-
dynamic of let's go clear this dungeon for the town. Oh,
Yeah, fish the scimitar. It seems sturdy.
Sure. I'll pull the scimitar out of the thing. Are you saying to just
I mean,
lob a scimitar?
don't chuck it. It's probably valuable. Touch it.
Why don't you just shoot like an arrow at it? Bolt? Bolt.
But I don't
I'll
think
shoot
it's-
one. Well,
because ammo maybe doesn't want to waste ammo. I don't know.
I've been told to keep track of it. I'm concerned. Okay, I'll take a shot into it.
Can we see it go all the way down? Oh,
You
wait,
cannot see the bottom of this pool.
And it hasn't dissolved or anything.
That's it.
It went below the surface, so you can reach for it if you want.
That sounds great.
I don't know what to tell you about that.
Stick your ghost hand in.
I'm actually not feeling strong enough to summon Fat Bottom right now. Should we take a short rest?
Poolside rest.
Take a rest next to the death water. Sounds
Okay.
great.
If you
Well,
want
no,
one,
that's sarcasm. That's sarcasm.
perhaps later.
Let's check through the other door first.
Sure.
We'll come back.
North. This is room number. Thank you.
Wow, you have multiple rooms covered.
It's a weird organization system, but I can
This door
respect it.
appears to be unlocked.
Right.
No issues. And as the door opens, you are met instantly with the end of a hallway that
Wow.
wraps around to the left. I'm going to just go out on a limb and
That's
assume that you peek around the corner.
Until something horrible happens.
Oof. Let's see if I can figure this out. Okay, I understand. That's what it looks like from here.
Oh.
Well. If it isn't a choice. Well, as long as we got a crossroads here, might as well check north from there.
Who did that just remind me of? Harry Potter character?
Yeah. Very cool.
Well. Consequence of my actions.
Let's take this first right.
Hello, Cold Nose. This the pathway?
Yeah.
Yeah. Onward and up.
How far around this corner are you going to go?
Yes.
You can just make out a door around the corner.
There's an empty square there. Or a square and a half or something.
I cast magic missile into the darkness.
Oh shit.
Oh. That's-
1 second. Ah. Oh god. Hold on. Sorry. This is being done. Yikes. 1 minute. Momentary oopsie. You jerk. Sorry.
I'm
Roll
sorry.
20 doesn't want to be my friend.
How rude. Spent so much time with you.
Why is it doing this to me?
No.
Not doing my commands. Here we go.
You are my creation. I command you to.
What? Yeah.
Yep, that's hallway. Check door. 4 traps. 14.
As you're moving in that direction, once you make it past the corner, make a perception check for me.
17.
You stop short of going into this pit
Whoa. That's
that was obscured in the hallway.
By roll.
I know you're hovering over it right now, but you stop short of it.
What's in the pit? Also, whoa.
In this picture, there's a bunch of snakes, but there's no way that would survive here. It's actually just spiked contraption.
Okay. Good old fashioned spike pit. Who the hell puts a
black pit inside of it. Yeah. We got a means to get around this?
Just
There is like a 4-inch ledge in front of the door on the other side of this pit.
Do we want to try this? Do we want to go the other way?
We may come around to another door to whatever is on that other side of this pit.
And perhaps we should check the other corner and long
Mhm.
yes.
Over here. Right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. We go.
Sorry, I just realized that I hadn't finished something that I finished. You come around this side, and lo and behold, there seems to be another area. And you come to a door over here.
Whoa.
This door appears to be locked. This door.
We're going to BLJ through it, right?
Yes. Yes, a big skip.
19.
Oh yeah, unlocks. Click, and what you find is this small interior room here.
What's on the wall?
There seems to be a kind of. Let me see. What is this?
Looks like more sarcophagi.
Oh, I really should have been reading off these descriptions of places, but I basically told you the right thing. Okay, 8. You see some like table full of like some weird spoiled something. You also see these pod like. They're about a little bit longer than a humanoid creature, all lined up against the wall. They seem to be some sort of like metal combination. And the door across the way is in fact
Should I put you in there?
slightly ajar.
How's the door slightly ajar?
Yeah.
Like slid partly open. They've been sliding. This one is slightly slid.
But like,
I don't think it's a jar. Pretty sure it's a door.
right. Would it all open?
Are you going in?
I'm going in, Coach. I'd like to investigate these sarcophagi. I've been doing things such as that. So,
Sarcophagus.
sarcophagi.
These appear to be fully metal. No immediate discernible lid upon first glance. There doesn't seem to be like an edge. There does seem to be a circular glass piece on each end that you can see down inside.
They have their brain.
You're looking in the glass.
The
Doesn't
glass.
seem to be anyone inside of them.
I want to check out
You
the.
do see like fabric inside. On the table? Okay, go ahead and make an investigation for me. It looks like bobs and ends of like maybe plant matter of some kind and some other things of that nature.
14.
14. You searching through all these decays and like old papers and books that are slightly crumbling as you're even trying to touch. They haven't been touched in years, and like just one little is enough. You find this silvery looking ball, probably the size of one of these, on the desk. Like, what's it called?
It's like a softball.
Like a
size.
Bowie ball?
Yes, what is it actually called? Kushigi. Yes.
Bowie ball.
Aren't you impressed with my Kushigi skills?
I don't. Yeah.
Anyways, that's what you find on the table.
It's a Bowie ball.
Perfectly clean.
Excuse me, I'll distract this young girl with my balls. Can we open the door to the pit from here?
It appears to be locked. Wait, wrong one. No, it is not locked. You can't open it.
All right.
In the name of completionism, you open the door.
And it swings over the pit.
And screw whoever this place.
I really feel like we should open one of these sarcophagi.
Yeah.
No discernible lid though.
What are the things on the table again?
It looked to be just like indiscriminate, like maybe plant matter, some old books and papers that have just like deteriorated as soon as they're getting touched. Just abandoned belongings of some kind.
So there's a glass.
Mm-hmm.
Break the glass and try and handle it with broken glass.
Well, as far as I'm aware, we've just been doing cursory glances on things, right? We haven't actually actively like tried to
That's
figure something out. Am I right about that? Okay, just make
Fair
sure.
enough, I suppose.
I'd like to investigate the sarcophagus.
I'll help you.
Thank you.
Sarcophagus.
There you go. It's a 19.
You run your metal hands along this metal and eventually find a place that you can press into, and the one that you're messing with suddenly just releases and kind of raises up like a hatch.
Oh,
And the interior has like a satiny type fabric that's lined there. It's like some pillow for comfort. Seems like someone was
Mighty expensive. These could sell quite a lot.
sad.
This is where the zombies came
Yeah.
from. 4 dead zombies in another room.
Mm-hmm.
4 sarcophagi in this room.
Should we check all of them?
What else was the description of the sarcophagus? It was
fully metal.
very, very nice inside. It was comfortable.
Mhm.
Then yes, we should open them all.
Open them all and be ready in case something
Now
decides
that
to
you know,
jar door.
one by one they open up. There's no bodies inside of them or anything. It just look like really weird beds. Like maybe it looks comfortable to you, maybe it doesn't, but it was comfortable to somebody.
Does anybody need to rest now?
I won't be the first.
And they are, since you were inspecting it all, they do seem to be like attached to the floor in some way. They're not just free moving.
All right, weapons out. Let's check the ajar door, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
How? Let me do this.
Jesus, good.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead. You do hear some kerfuffling in that area.
You're fuffling, you say?
Mhm. Indiscriminate noises of movement.
Any response?
Oh, you're knocking on the door? Okay, sorry. I wasn't sure what exactly was happening there. Okay. Keep that check. It's done here. Yep. You just hear a crunch noise and it's getting. That's it. That's it.
All right, got an idea. I'm gonna try and hold the door slightly closed. Hold the door slightly closed. Prepare my rapier for if it tries to rush the barricade. Just kind of stick it through the door. If it should get my direction.
The rapier blade through the door? Okay.
Yep.
Sounds like something like this.
I mean, I could try shoot.
Okay, this is just funny.
I only got 5 bullets.
Only 5 No, I was laughing at the way we dragged the dog's head away from the water. It really dragged both of the front pieces. Fuck.
You just hear like more and some like clanging in the distance of the room beyond, but no reaction to the rapier blade.
All right, fine. We're going to do this hard way. Open the door.
It's a little stuck.
Well, wasn't expecting that.
It feels jam. It's like probably about, if it's a normal door, it's probably about this open enough to do what you just did. But it seems like something has jammed it there. So it's either going to take a lot more information on what's causing the jam, or a lot more muscle than just a ginger push open.
All right. Can we get a light shown in here?
Sure.
And you can tell that the next room is lit much in the way that these rooms have been lit, but I don't think anyone's actively like peeked in or anything. You're just seeing like, you haven't seen any beings in that area that you can see through. But yeah, if you want to throw a light in there, throw a light in there.
All right, I'm going to brace myself up, try to pull the door open, signal everybody to be ready. Does anybody want to assist me in the process?
Sure. I'll log that up there.
That 20 for 22.
Yeah, that'll do
And for posterity.
it. You both together go to push, and you realize it's not as stuck as you were anticipating, as you watch some bits of bones that must have been in the way kind of splinter out as this door slides to the end. And what you see after opening this door are two large, no, I don't want to say large. They are medium sized, but they are just, the nature of them is kind of bulky, kind of turn in your direction from the impact of this opening.
Oh.
Ooh.
In this dim light, to the best of your knowledge, they appear to be kind of grayish and saggy in nature, almost ogre-like, but again, they are still medium. Their eyes are completely skinned over. Where their eyes should be, they have a brow, but there's just nothing there. It is skin. They both seem to be wielding some weird clubs that have been fashioned together out of bones. This room now, you can see, is lined with weaponry. Much like the sword you have there is a shield or two in the corner, and there is some old skeletons here as well that are just littering the floor. But now's as good a time as any if you want to go ahead and roll it into this. Whatever that means.
All right, I'll draw it. 18.
Mm. Nine.
I know why. There we go. I was wondering why it wouldn't let me click on this token. It's still not. What's wrong? I know why. You don't see them. Yes, you do.
They could sit down and layer.
They're on the wrong layer is the problem. They're on the map layer because I was on the map layer and didn't realize. Now we're good. I was like, why can't I add a turn to this creature?
Being part of the scenery.
Okay, so Flint was in there,
In my
and that number was
I believe that was a 16. What, 14?
oh god, 16.14. and Shrock. That's the only other one I need to add.
A lot of us have the same dexterity.
I have notes. And let's not forget these idiots.
Deck squad.
Dexterity check should do the trick for them.
Dude, imagine getting hit by a fire. This message paid for by Deck Squad.
I almost clicked remove all turns and it would have pissed me right off.
So that
Well, it still would have pissed me right off. Especially now that you told me that, I would have just been livid. All right. Arano, you are going first.
Okay.
They are where they are.
All right.
You can see one has one of those rats, half of it in its hand, the other half still chewing in its mouth.
I'm gonna go ahead and move right here to use my spear. $21 to hit, 10 damage.
Absolutely hit. They will. Which one are you doing? This guy here, right?
No.
This one? That.
And then
10 damage?
my steel defender is gonna come and stand. It's gonna come and attack this one also. 10 to hit.
That will miss. It's kind of taking that spear as it rips out and flies back to you. It kind of sees your thing coming, lifts its leg up to just defend away from it. But it looks to do a lot of damage. There's like a big hole to the side of its shoulder, and its arm has gone slack in the area. Flint?
Move my ass in there. We're going to take care of the guy on the back.
This one?
Yep.
Where do you want to be?
One up. Around it.
Make it serve.
I don't know what square it's in, but I'm attacking it. I ain't hitting it, but I'm attacking it.
It is in the right square. It is.
It's not in a square.
Oh. That's because it started out unfortunately, as a map creature.
It was a map piece, part of the
Do
scene.
you want to be up or?
There we go.
That's good right
You're right there.
there.
What was your thing?
Less than 10?
Sadly, no. Bats it away if it's club.
Burial.
Well, first up, it's gonna try and that guy is gonna try and slam your Arbitron. Or botch. And Flint. It misses. They both miss. Wildly, bone sprays up from the floor, clattering against metal in the area.
We're seeing those rolls. I don't know if you care.
Well, now you know I'm being honest.
behind Flint.
This may be the last comment of the night. 'Cause I've heard 4 people on so far. So. Oh
Sorry.
shit! Yeah, sorry, I wasn't paying attention here.
Move you in?
Behind Flint.
Right here?
Yes. Nope. That's it.
Okay. Tower
I mean, I tried, but
goes wild.
Comes on up in there. Goes ahead and pulls out a quarterstaff. Followed it up with a little kicky kick. Those should not be at advantage. I don't know why they are.
Well,
The 23 should hit.
yeah,
The 10
well,
It's 12 bludgeoning damage. That is going to end Force turn.
this one gets kicked and crumples and goes dark.
Nice.
We're back to Aranoa.
Okay. I'll go ahead and move right here and throw my spear at it. 17 hit,
That'll hit.
6 damage. And then Steel Defender's gonna come and stand right in front of me. And attack for 14,
That'll hit.
4 damage.
Ooh, this thing looks rough. Oops. But it is still on its feet. Flint.
All right. You're going to hit the guy again. Try it. Continues to be less than 10.
Continues to stay alive. Try.
There we go. 24.
24 will hit.
Full damage. 7 slash.
Sorry, 7 damage.
Mhm.
This creature is slain by a whip. Just a big gash goes across its neck and then just turns red. Comes to the ground. The ring is yours.
I'd like to thoroughly investigate the room to see if there's anything to be found of value.
I'd like to help you.
Go for it, go for it.
I can do that perception, right? Do I have to investigate his hand?
I usually make an investigation for actively trying to find things.
I can investigate.
Oh yeah, you do it instead then.
You can help me.
Sure, I'll help you. That's what.
18.
18. You find a collection of what is clearly just like rudimentary, mundane swords and everything. One thing that really strikes out to you, though, in all this is there's a shield that's a little more ornate than the others, and on the center of it is an etching of the Eye of Ra. And while everything else has some level of dust or grime, this does not.
Kick-ass equipment senses are ticking.
And you do see in the south here that same broken door that was broken down into this chamber.
We completed it. Right?
I don't think we missed anything that we're aware of. Like,
Based on my cartography senses, I don't think we missed anything. But in the future, I will bring a pen, pencil, no charcoal, and some paper down, and make a map as we go through the dungeon.
That's smart.
I have cartography, therefore, here we go. Anywho, do we feel like we thoroughly investigated everything in this dungeon at this point?
I do.
feeling. Well, we got the nasty liquid, but
Oh, right. Nasty.
nasty liquid.
Should we take a rest of sarcophagi and then take a look at that nasty liquid?
I don't see why you are so hell bent on
I
taking
think,
a nap in one of these things.
I think if that's the plan, we should test it and have someone go in, not everyone else. Make sure you can get out on the inside.
Idea. Take one of these poor son bitches, put it in the thing, close the thing, make sure it don't do nothing.
Too.
Considering the number of incredibly dry folk in here, I would want to test them.
Okay, you take the time to haul one of these torches. They're medium. They're heavy set, of course. You saw that picture. But between the group, you can do it, no problem. And you stuff them inside one of these chamber-like things. And you can see their twisted face pressed against the glass, circular glass.
Yep.
Nothing else happening. Just in there.
From what you can tell, spending some time with it. Seems to be a corpse inside there.
All right, haul them out.
They seem to be maybe a little squeezed, but other than that, exactly as you left them.
Now, can we see a way to be able to open it inside? Shut.
Yeah. Going with what you were doing before, you totally could. You would not be locked inside without being able to get out.
Just want to make sure.
But
I'll be
deducing the contents of this,
okay.
yeah, deducing the contents of
Whole party line.
all right. Oh shit! It's like hoping that they figure you died in time that another group comes down and finds you in there.
It was at
And
this
then we
point
become the
that they
enemies.
realized they fucked.
Tower is just in there waiting.
This is a long,
Starve. Able to suffocate.
It'd be pretty
it's a
brutal.
long drive for somebody with nothing to talk about.
But deducing the contents of this room and like piecing things together, this feels like some sort of like living quarters, some sort of barracks, some sort maybe.
It seems like you're first.
I'll keep an eye out while we do, because I can do the same.
I'm going to rest at something that isn't one of these things because I'm just paranoid.
What kind of rest are you taking?
A long one, I think. Yeah.
Why are we long resting inside the damn dungeon, first of all?
You know,
Second of all,
Checking everything? I mean, is there
No,
anything else?
it's the liquid, and that's what we're saying.
right. Just
Why did we? There's something that needed to happen. That was going to take time, right? Or why did we?
oh, I know. Fat bottom girl. That's it.
That's
yeah.
why.
But
Yeah.
no, that's
Short
short
rest.
Short rest.
take an hour.
And I can do hit dice, but I can't actually because my maximum is. So I have to figure out some way of getting my maximum back. I thought that.
Can I give him a quick heal check just to see if that's something can be cleared up?
You mean you want to try and spend some points on him or something, or what, or a medicine?
Yeah, just a medicine to determine
Okay. Make a
is this going to be strictly a bed rest situation? 12. On a scale of
Tower's
long rest-
physiology is a little different than you're probably used to in these terms, but best you can recollect, he's gonna need some good old fashioned chicken soup in bedtime.
right.
Does
On a
chicken
scale of
soup
short
help
rest to several days of natural recovery.
It's
So-
gonna take at least one good night's sleep to get rid of whatever's afflicting him.
So we could long rest in there, or we could short rest just hanging around the pool. And
Why do we have to do it around the pool?
why would we do it around the pool? That's the only
The sheriff
source of
objects
danger.
to
Just to observe it too.
Right. That's the one
Hopefully
source of
it's
danger.
nothing.
That would be where we'll be. Otherwise, we might get snuck up on.
All right, fine.
I spent an hour holding a rapier in the direction of the pool
During that hour,
until I get fed up and put it down because my arm got tired.
I would like to take a look at this rust-colored bag that we got going on here.
Okay, same situation.
Yeah.
You open it up, and there's like various furs that you can see within.
I'd like to pull it out and see what that's all about.
Throw it in the pool. Hello, and welcome. Morally dubious.
I had something up, and then I got rid of
My
it.
name is Flint, and I have objections.
What was that? So you're gonna stick your hand in and pull out one of the furs? The first thing you notice is that it is in fact round, probably somewhere around baseball size. It feels wiggly in your hand as you hold it, and you're throwing it.
Well, Yeah, I would toss it into the air to start with, just like gently.
Sure. As you do. Let's see what this is. This is one of these. Delicious. Okay, let's see what that becomes. Is this the right bag? It sure is. Okay. It's white in color, and as it flies up, it kind of like disgustingly morphs its orb-like structure into the shape of a goat. It lands on the ground.
Oh.
It begins walking around the room.
This
Sam Hill.
there seems to be some magic about this bag.
Goat. Sudden goat.
Summon the goat.
Goat aberration.
Dispel this. It would be dispelled and put back into the bag, or is this goat just here and that bag has a finite amount?
And I guess we experimented with it for the next hour, which is, I think, how these things work, to figure out exactly what this bag is and what it is.
Right. So you would know I'm assuming that you have not yet grabbed more balls.
No.
You realize this goat is friendly to you. And the other people that did not pull it out this bag. And it seems to be taking your basic commands from it to the best of its ability. But it's a goat.
It's a goat friend.
It's a live goat.
Well, shall we try taking out more of these things and seeing what the extent of the limit of this bag is, or do we think there's a finite limit generally?
I don't know how many balls are in there.
And
Hard to say.
balls in the bag.
It looks like it's bigger on the inside practically. It's like full of plenty of balls in there. It's hard to, unless you're trying to dump out a bag of fur balls, it's hard to know.
Do another.
Sure. And I do another one, and I toss this one gently on the ground.
I pet the goat as I wait.
Second verse, same as the first, except this ball expands much larger and forms into a brown bear.
Okay.
Oh no!
I need to understand something now.
Is this one friendly? Does it follow commands to the best of its ability?
And is it friendly to the goat?
Please.
One awkward
Watch a
interaction
bear
later.
maul a
Next to a pool.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is the goat your companion?
I mean, if it obeys
The
our
creature is friendly
commands,
to you and your companions.
Does that make a companion?
I think by our transit,
I
by our
I'm
transit
actively
property,
petting.
That's true.
I did say that.
Well, in any case, this room now has a bear and a goat in it.
What's the bear doing?
So it's not a bag of
Baron.
a goat. It's not a bag of goats. So that's
bear in the bag. What it do?
We tell it what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I asked the bear to jump into this pool.
Yeah.
It
Bears can
gets itself in.
We don't know what's in there.
The disgusting water goes up to like chest level on this creature,
Ew, ew.
and it stands there waiting for more instruction.
Fish out the bolt. Shot there.
Now,
That's now.
well, that happened. I'm guessing the water ain't gonna kill no.
It starts rummaging through the refuse looking for this bolt. And after some time, a disgusting amount of liquid begins pouring from its jowls as it has a bolt in its mouth.
No, that's quiet.
And it brings it back to you and drops it in front of you.
Thank you.
The room is beginning to smell disgusting as this water has been stirred, or this liquid has been stirred.
All right, I think I'm satisfied. Nothing terrible is going to come out of
Find
it.
any valuable.
There are bits of nastiness on this bear that almost look jelly-like.
Oh. All right.
Can it do that? Like, is there a certain level of
To the best
knowledge?
of its ability and its knowledge, yeah, it doesn't understand what you're
Shiny.
All right, but it's not like,
Something shiny.
but it's
Like
not
this.
like melting into a disgusting pile of goo yet, is it?
Not
No.
really.
Thanks, I hate it. Oh. All right, I'm satisfied. This ain't killing me yet. And you might as well have the goat test the other one.
The other pole?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
For expedience sake, the same bullshit. Now you have a nasty bear and a nasty goat.
Oh,
And bullshit.
They need bats.
okay. In that case, I
The,
think we
the
found what
refuse
we're gonna
that the matter that comes out of that second pole, some of it is like elongated, indiscriminate. It's hard to, it's like almost tube-like in some
So
ways.
what's up with all the brains?
We got brains, we got slime, we got undead pharaoh types, we got zombies,
Over.
obelisks,
Walrus.
smolders.
If anyone thinks they might have any knowledge of like traditionally more subterranean creatures, go ahead and make a nature check to try and determine what those creatures were that you just fought.
City dwarves, but dwarves nonetheless. 16 should be.
27.
Yeah, the two of you would recognize these creatures as Grimlocks. Blind, like troll, goblin type things.
Troublets.
You realize you definitely got the jump on them pretty good before they got a chance to do anything. But
Do you guys know, do they have a language? A written language.
Grimlocks?
I assume undercommon at best.
At best, most likely. Let me double check for you.
I'm just talking about the bumpy language you keep talking.
I'm not thinking that's it.
Undercommon would be correct.
Yeah, I don't think the bumpy stuff is having to do with it.
Well, let's just say over the course of it, I mean, I'll do this again. So you throw it again, you get a little rat friend as well. And then you notice that you try to pull out more, and there's more, but they're just tribble at that point. Inert tribble.
They're replicating?
You can dump some out, and they don't seem to
They're
stop coming out, but they're not turning into animals. And you can scoop them back in.
3 a day, foreseeable future.
Interesting. Well,
Interesting.
shall we? Are we done looking around?
I guess so.
I think we found what we gonna find.
Anything we're trying to do with this metallic gold disc? This feels like something that's key. Like,
It feels
You can
important.
find that bag under bag of tricks rust.
Yeah.
Sure, that's what's- all this- these are not so uncommon in the universe at all. For in the right hands, they're just fine. You would know what it was.
Did we really inspect the room after the fight where the sarcophagus was? We got all the treasure?
we found a good shield.
In the
Right.
last fight.
Shield.
Like looking
With the Xantho.
the one where we got all the treasure. We're talking about the
Yeah.
Mummy.
disc.
We've only checked one side's braille dots.
That's
We're trying to look for keys.
I see what you're saying, but
Did we look enough to determine that?
you're asking if that piece corresponds to the room that it was in. It doesn't seem to, from based on what you guys, how you guys are searching around and everything.
Is it similar to the one that we found to open the dungeon?
Yes and no. It all
I mean,
feels
Type of
it all feels connected in terms of technology, but this feels different. It doesn't necessarily. It's hard to say if it's a key or what, or just a piece, an art piece, or what. It's really no knowledge on it.
Mm.
All right, I think we've got pretty much everything then. Good.
And having walked back through these holes, you can basically confirm you've been in every room of this place, unless there's some crazy secret door you missed, but probably not.
Sick.
This seems like it's been cleared,
It's been
purified of evil.
1 week since.
Here we go. Long rest. You're looking.
So you took a long rest down here. That's
We
just a short.
decided not to take
It's just
No,
been a
no,
matter of
short.
like 3-4 hours in this dungeon total.
4 hours.
something like that. Yeah,
In the realm of
maybe 5 or 6.
3 to 4 hours, I'd say. Because there's at least 2 other short rests, I think, while you were down here.
Yeah, it takes a while to look through
4-ish
things and
hours.
fight stuff.
Realistically speaking.
I'm just gonna call it 4.5. That'll encompass all time.
That's all time. If we pause here and keep going for another half hour, this episode will be 4.5 hours long.
Wow.
How weird.
Which we're going to pause at some point if we're going to keep going.
Oh, that's up to everybody else.
Is this a good place
Yeah,
to
it's
pause?
been sounding like this is a class.
It can be.
I mean, for the players.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
like you want to
Absolutely.
don't want to get tired.
Mm-hmm.
To which I'll say that at this point, I think is when we'll level up to level 4.
Yeah.
Cleared dungeon.
And
Outside in the town of Mayfield, people are getting antsy, wondering if they'll get a chance to delve down into this tomb, unaware of what's transpired already. Off in the distance, the setting sun casting the red haze over the veil for its namesake. A cigarette lights in the silhouette as a stranger flicks it to the side, turns their back, walks away.